Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexi out here and Sunday morning, and the Raptors lost to the Celtics in overtime last night. I have a mix of emotions about what happened last night. I have to retell myself what's going on right now, presently, with our team, and always have to look at it through that lens to an extent, but also at the same time, the competitive person in me is very dismayed or just kind of annoyed in some ways. Is this like some sort of weird torture where it's like, okay, they're gonna give it to you almost, and you're gonna be like, yes, we're gonna win, we're gonna beat them, we're gonna finally win on the road, we're gonna finally beat the Celtics at their place since 2021. Are we finally gonna get some good feelings from a win? But alas, it wasn't to be in the end. There's a lot of different circumstances that lead to the outcome of an NBA game. An NBA game is a 48 minutes of microtransactions of physicality between 10 men that are playing on a court. And then there's three other people that are hanging around the court doing stuff that have transactions also with it. Then you add in the coaches, the possibility of them having factors in the game in different ways. There's a lot of different, and then the crowd, the atmosphere, stupid things like the shot clock doing stupid malfunctions at weird, fishy times where you're kind of like, why is the shot clock stop all the time? Like, why do we have to do this? This is a high tech organization, the NBA. Why is the shot clock thing something? And could it be that the shot clock people are like weird and manipulative of doing things in some ways? I don't know. I don't want to get too far into that conspiracy theory, but it is fishy. I've seen this shot clock stop malfunction, set this shot clock, it's not right kind of thing a few times on both levels, the G League and the regular NBA. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with the shot clocks? Seriously. Not that that was a big, huge factor. There were two times that happened in the game last night. One time when they had the ball, and one time when we had the ball. There were some makeup calls. There was one call on that on where we got the ball and it was the right call, but because it was kind of fishy, they went ahead and called a fishy call the other way and gave the ball right back to the Celtics. That was in the first half. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna break it down. Let's think about it real quick. And say, also, hang on a sec. What's that? Oh, really? Oh, guys, my son has told me that we're going to see Justin today. Not him, Justin Champagny. That's right. He's on the Capital City Go Go, and they're playing the 9:05 at 3 p.m. today. Oh, really? Wow, that's kind of interesting. Mohamedou Gay's on that team too, guys. Who else? The son of Dennis Rodman? What do you mean? He's in the league? Dennis Rodman Jr. is playing for the Capital City Go Go today against our 905. Who else is on this team? Come on, tell me. Tell me. Give me all the facts. Come on now. Tell me who else is on this team. Spill it. Spill it. You got to tell me. Oh, Kyra Lewis Jr., former Raptor from last year, too. He's going to be on this team, too. Wow. Any more? Any more you should tell me about, Justin, about the 905 playing this team today, Capital City Go Go? Is McCurr on this team? Okay. Who else? Oh, Leaky Black. Okay. All right. Thank you, Justin. You're my son. You can go now. Yeah. We're playing Champagne. So Justin felt like he had to tell us. He's a big fan of Justin Champagne. So, yeah, you're my son. I told you, you can go, man. You can go. You're my son. I love you. All right. Now go back to sleep. It's Sunday. You can go back to bed. Go on now. All right. There you go. Justin Bieber, y'all. Everybody, clap a hand. He gave us a scouting report for the 905 game today against Capital City Go Go. That's right. Leaky Black, Jared Butler, John Butler, Justin Champagne, Tyler Funk, Mohamedou Gay, Kira Lewis, Ruben Nebhart, and DJ Rodman, Tristan Vucevic. Yeah, Capital City Go Go sounds pretty stacked. Of course, there was news yesterday. It broke during our stream yesterday. We found out that Brendan Carlson has been snatched up by the centerless Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder have lost Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, and one of the Jalen Williamses. And they were boasting a lineup at one point with only SGA as the tallest player on the team. It's not crazy. 6'6" was the tallest player on their team. So they called up Brendan Carlson. And he's going in there. He's very, very happy. He's very jubilant. It's all over his social media. And the Oklahoma City Thunder are very jubilant about it, too. Raptors fans are saying that Masai fumbled, and they're getting on to him for this. And then, we had a weird incident last night where Fernando looked like he was going to be hurt all of a sudden, and then was like, oh, crap, is it going to be like this? Really bad. Thankfully, Bruno came back. He had landed on Jamison Battle's foot and bent his ankle a little bit, and it looked like it hurt. It also looked like there was some water on the court at that moment, too, but maybe it was just sweat coming off of the players from the incident. But yeah, thank God Bruno Fernando was not totally out and hurt on going to the injury list. He was able to return and play, especially on the day that Brendan Carlson was snatched out of the 905. Now, the thing about Carlson's contract is that it's non-guaranteed until January, and it isn't a normal 10-day. It is for the rest of the season. But if he doesn't work out for them, they have the option to cut him before January. And then he'll come back to 905. 905 will have the first rights to him afterwards. So it depends on how well he plays. If he plays well, he can play for the rest of the season with them. But if he doesn't, well, they can cut him at any time, and they could try somebody else instead. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. After this happened, according to Blake Murphy, they picked up Vance Jackson Jr., who was the last training camp cut for the 905 in training camp. So he's going to join the Raptors 905 now. But also, this is the crazy thing. With Carlson gone, Shamshe is the most true center on our roster now for that level for the game today at 3. So Oruj Shamshe is like number 1 center, and he could be starting now. This is the weird thing. Now, everybody's kind of upset about Carlson getting snatched away. Well, there's your booby prize, guys. We may get Prince Shamshe in higher minutes and playing as a starter. We'll have to see. It could be him or Disu. Disu might be the guy who is starting instead. We'll have to see, because those guys are going to basically be our centers now. It's not a horrible option in some ways. Shamshe can play defensive center pretty good already. I've seen the last game, he looked really good. But yeah, it's a weird situation. A lot of people that really love Carlson are really mad right now with what happened yesterday. I'm annoyed, man. I hate, you know what? I'm starting to not like the centers that wear number 35 for the Raptors, because there's chicanery, weirdness going on with them. Whether it's like, Koloko was number 35 because he loved Kevin Durant, and he's a big fan. And now Carlson, who wore 35 this summer, and I was like, it's Koloko's number. Why is he wearing 35? Well, that's a signal right there, Lex. Koloko ain't coming back, bro. And then now this 35, the whole thing. Some people are saying that Masai fumbled. I don't think that's true. If we, in some ways it's weird, man, because the Raptors did kind of make a determination, like I did, that Carlson's just not going to be a certain level in the NBA. Well, we'll see. And it could very well be that he has some success with Oklahoma City, because they run a very skinny, slender man center that is not really like having to do a lot with their weight. So maybe they have a system that'll fit with a big, slender center like Brendan Carlson that can't hold any weight down underneath the basket. I don't know. Either way, people are pissed. Some people are very upset, Raptors fans. And I'm like, whatever. It is what it is. All right, let's check in with the chat, y'all. Sorry, I'm going on for about 10 minutes just talking to Justin. Doesn't mean, maybe I did go a little crazy because of the overtime loss to the Celtics last night. Maybe just a little bit crazier this morning because of it. Trevor's saying sometimes you just have to play the role of a foot to foot. You have to play the role of a fool to fool the fool who thinks they're fooling you. That's crazy. I mean, I get that. That's pretty deep, Trevor. Sometimes you have to play the role of a fool to fool a fool. Yeah, you mean like act like you're stupid just to like make the stupid person? Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's interesting. That's interesting words of wisdom. Trevor's saying, what a game, but the referees have to put their hands and foot on it by not calling fouls for us to win that game. BS. All right. I'm going to say it right now. Kevin Scott, you were our friend last night. Kevin Scott was actually not bad for us. In some ways, he wasn't there for us when we needed him at times, but he was definitely calling it fair to a degree. I felt like Kevin Scott, the head referee, was fine, but Van Dyne was an asshole. Every single thing that he could call was for the Celtics. That dude was manipulating the game for the Celtics. Justin Van Dyne, the second referee. Simone was fine. Simone was just calling it like it is. But yeah, Van Dyne was awful. Van Dyne had a couple of calls that were corrupt, that were very much manipulation. There was the obvious regular ones where we had an offensive screen. This is the big one. This one really pissed me off too, because the Celtics did a good job of keying on Grady last night. That was one of the main stories last night. Is Grady was having a hard time getting any shots off because the Celtics were really, really concentrating on him. And this is the new phenomena of Grady emerging in his second year. Is a lot of scouting reports are centering around him and RJ right now. So it's harder for those guys to get their shots because there's so much the center point of what their focus is. And Grady finally gets a really nice screen from Jakob and bombs a three in the first half. And Justin fucking Van Dyne calls an offensive foul on Jakob, which is a foul on Jakob and also a turnover for the Raptors, and also wiping the good feelings of making the three for Grady and putting that on there. Oh my gosh, that was such a fucking manipulative call. And I don't care if Jakob did a little bit of a dirty screen, you can look the other way on this shit because these motherfuckers are getting looked the other way on stuff with Horford and other people on the other side. So it's like bullshit, man. That call is that was one of the biggest ref manipulation calls this year. Call and killing it for the other team and sending it to go the other way. Oh man, it makes me so mad. That play in particular made me so mad because Grady had finally made a shot and they wiped it off. They wiped it away. Yeah, Grady had a tough game last night. It was tough. It was some learning lessons once again. But you know what? I have to give Grady credit. At the end of the game, he hit a very key shot in a high pressure situation, a couple key shots. And that shows that he's ready to ball and compete with the best in the league and at a highest level and try and get the win in a high pressure on the road situation in overtime. That's cojones. That is a lot of balls to be able to be playing excellent like that and also take the shots after not making pretty much all the shots you took earlier in the game already. That is amazing in some ways. But yeah, that was a ref manipulation. That Van Dyne offensive foul on Jakob Poeltl around the second quarter that wiped Grady Dick's first successful three-point shot. Yeah, that was annoying. The free throws, we could talk about the free throws. We could talk about what's the other well, obviously, the main ref manipulation is not calling fouls for RJ. And then Davion was yelling at them in the middle of the game. You could hear him on the mic. He's saying, like, y'all are going to call it down there for Jason and Jalen. You better call it this way for RJ. Is RJ's getting people wrapping their arms around his arms when he goes through the lane. Derek White is putting his arm over both his arms. They're not calling anything. He's just trying to strip the ball from him, and he's getting fouled, but they ignore that shit. And that shit happened at the end of the game. There was a very stark moment where RJ went to the basket, and he landed on the ground from contact, and there was no whistle, dead silence, crickets. And we're all like, what the and even Matt and Jack are like, there's foul there. There's a foul there. And they replayed it and said there was a foul. I don't know, Jack. That looks like there's some contact there. Yeah, Matty, that looks like there's some contact there. Yeah, there's some contact there for RJ Barrett. But for some reason, RJ Barrett is not getting any respect. Is it because of the red Raptors uniform he wears, NBA? Why does he not get any respect? It's the same kind of shit that Pascal Siakam went through for a couple years up here. Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying. In some ways, that could have helped us win the game, although RJ did miss some free throws, some key missed free throws that could have helped us win the game without any of all that. Oh, man. Yeah, there's a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda in this game. You know, when you have a game go down to a last second shot, and yes, Jason traveled. We know he did. You know, there's a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda, and any which way that it can happen. And that's why even when, like, I forget who it was last night, it may have been Leo in the in the studio, he said, you got it's a prize winning fight and you're going against the prize winner. You have to absolutely by doing the right thing. It's kind of alluding to the Cobra Kai analogy I made before. are gonna be cheating. Everything's against you. Well, you gotta be like Sam LaRusso when you're fighting that girl and they're gonna just cheat you. You gotta be so good you just overwhelmingly win no matter what. And that's the lesson in this is that you just gotta be so overwhelmingly good to overcome it and win it, even if all the odds are against you. You just have to undeniably win it. That's what it is. And in some ways, the Raptors had their opportunities last night to do that. And in some ways they could have, but you know what? I'm so damn proud of them too, because honestly, I may have sullied and sewered the games against Milwaukee and Detroit this week as far as like, well, they're bad teams and they're not shooting well, but this is a good team that shoots well, and the defense last night was top notch, and they did a really, really good job against a team that, I mean, geez, the broadcast crew in there, Kia, Nikki, and Leo couldn't stop gushing about the Celtics and how great they are. Leo Routon saying there's nobody in the Eastern Conference that is a challenge for the Celtics. This is an easy cakewalk, and there's nobody that can do it. And I'm like, you know what? Watch what happens tonight, Leo. Is because I was thinking this. I even said this in the stream yesterday. That don't be shocked if the Celtics are susceptible to the Raptors, and the Raptors may fuck around and win this game. We could have. We were close. We scared the hell out of them. You think that those fans, I mean, I know they enjoyed the game because they got the outcome they wanted to. But in some ways, do you think the Celtics fans were enjoying things because they were seeing that the worst team in the league record-wise was taking it to task with them last night? No, they get a little pensive. They get a little nervous, so to speak. Yeah, it was a very interesting game. Very, very interesting game. I just wish our guys had won and gotten the W, because in some ways, just for their mental health and helping them feel a little better. I mean, that would have been a real big picking me up. You beat the NBA champions at home, at their home. And, that'd be a big pick me up, kind of wipe some of this losing streak that we've had just now from their memories real quick. So, man, I wish it had happened. I wish it had happened. Yeah, Trevor's saying, we're coming, NBA. You can't stop it. That's right. That's right. You got the Moticon heads out there. That's right. We are going to come up. And there is a future that is bright. There is, with Scotty coming back and getting these guys back. It looked like Kelly and Emmanuel didn't even bother to come to Boston. It was a one-night trip. I mean, Bruce, Jacoby, Scott were there. They wanted to come and make an appearance, but maybe these other guys wanted to stay back and watch fights and not get on the road, not travel. Could be partly because of their injuries. They didn't want to put him on a plane. That could be true. That could be true. Kelly probably don't need to be on a plane with his back if he doesn't need to. That's just how it is. All right, let's see. Trevor's saying that Jason Tatum said the Raptors play hard and are well coached, play together, and fast and pressure you. Jason Tatum with nice words for us. This isn't the first guy that we've played this year that has kind of come out and said this as an opponent, that has said nice words about the Raptors team after playing them. This is encouraging. This is encouraging. This is the guy who's, on the top team, the top guy on the top team in some ways, that is recognizing and giving us our flowers. It's true. We did a good job on those guys. We were irritating, and we were smart with our plans. Darko did a really good job with how he was trying to play the Celtics. We had a couple games against them in the preseason, so we kind of knew what's going on. And the other thing you got to factor in is RJ. RJ's played the Celtics a lot already in his young career. New York versus Boston. It's a very important rivalry, and RJ is not lost on RJ. So in some ways, he is going to get up for a game against the Celtics like he did last night and getting his first ever triple-double in his whole entire career. That's badass. That's because of the whole assist aspect that he's been delving into recently. That the third category is now a double-double target, 15 assists for RJ last night. And I was like, yeah, these motherfuckers going to shave some point or rebound or assist from this guy just like they did Pearl the night before. Better not. I want him to get a bona fide triple-double. And don't be messing with that man's stats afterwards, scorekeeper. Yeah, I'm glad to see that. And then, of course, Jakob got his career high in points in his whole entire career last night. He scored the most points ever in a game that he's ever scored. And those are nice. In some ways, I want to highlight and key on those two achievements in some ways more than the actual outcome of the game, because those are achievements. Seriously, they did that against the champions. And according to Leo, one of the greatest teams ever and not a team that has any competition in the league right now. They're just going to be that team. And I'm like, well, the Raptors must be pretty good if they're taking that team to overtime and just barely losing to them. So that's how we got to look at it right there. That's right. Trevor's saying Scotty looks like he was sending a message to tell the NBA Batman is coming. Yeah, Scotty looking a little bit like Commissioner Gordon, a little bit with that trench coat suit, like with the tails. Yeah, it's interesting. And I love what Jack was saying about the coaches need to start wearing suits again. In some ways he's right. It would bring the professionalism. Maybe that's why the kids don't play hard enough or not fundamentally right, because they don't respect their coaches because they ain't dressing. In some ways, I want them to do this just to piss Nick Nurse off. Seriously. Nick Nurse hates dressing up in suits. And if the NBA came around and told them that they have to wear jackets again, he'd probably be like, "What? What the fuck?" And the Raptor Street would be happy about that because old butthole face would have a bee in his bonnet about having to dress a little up for the games again. No, I think Jack's right. The professionalism would go up and it would look better. The league would be taken a little bit more seriously in some ways if they maybe instituted that rule again. They don't have to put ties on, like Jack said. They just have to wear a coat, a sports coat of some sort, and just kind of a little bit dressier. I mean, I think that's right. These guys, since the pandemic, they've been wearing pajamas basically. All the coaches in the NBA. So yeah, Scotty looking dressy. Scotty looking like he lives in Gotham. Scotty looking like he's ready to take flight, like the Batman. Yeah, yeah, with the bloodied eye. It's interesting. Yeah, he's sending a message. Batman's coming. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know the Batman song. I don't know the Batman song. I shouldn't do that. Wait, I can do the old one. Batman. 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 Oh, I definitely lost a little bit of my mind last night watching that game. I definitely did. That's right. Kareem Thomas is in the house. Dunk champion, trivia leader right now. Kareem Thomas, what do you have to say this morning, sir? Boston Celtics management just put up 2 reserve spots signs on both painted areas of the court and named one end Jakob and the next one Pirtle. Yeah. Yeah. You say they get in his own parking space like Michelle Carter. Yeah. Yeah. Down at both ends. No, that was really fun to watch Yak. Yak is so patient right now with his offense, and he's not fucking around with it. Some people they'd be like, "Oh, I'm doing this over and over again. That's boring. I want to shake it up and put some razzle dazzle in it and change the shot. Maybe do a little baby hook or a hook this way. No, push shot, push shot, push shot, push shot. No, if it ain't broke, don't fix it." And Jakob Pertl with his shots around the basket last night were money. In some ways, he shoots it like I used to shoot it on a mini goal, like a mini basket, with the little basketball and the little hoop, and you have it a little higher. Sometimes it's not good to shoot with 2 hands because you're going to mess the little ball all up. So you want to shoot like Shaq would with the one-handed shots. And he's very good with them. I love how he's all net on them too, and from different angles away from the basket. And yeah, he's money, man. And not only that, he was voracious on the offensive rebounds last night. Yeah, let's talk about our star of the game, number 1 star of the game in this overtime loss, Jakob Pertl, 16 of 19 from the field, 16 of 19, and a lot of that was thank you, RJ Barrett, for serving it up on a dish. And in very creative ways, too. I mean, the connection between Pirtle and Barrett was very much on display last night. It was a glorious sight to be seen. Whether it was some of the very tricky passes that RJ threw to him that he caught, it's just finding him. At one point, it was just like, yeah, RJ's just finding him. Yeah, like Nemo. He just found him. 16 and 19, 35 points. Yes, Jakob. Yes, get that 35. That number we talked about earlier. Your career high, the most you've ever scored in all your years in the NBA. No, not on any garbage San Antonio team that he was on before. He did not score that much on a Popovich team. Only here in Toronto. Double-double once again with 12 rebounds, 6 of them offensive. He was 3 of 4 at the free throw line. He got it better this time. He was worse at the free throw line on Friday night against the Pistons. He settled down and he got back to 75% at the free throw line last night. That's good. 1 steal, -3, 35 points, 37 minutes. He's that points per minute total. Very, very good for Yak. And he's just working his ass. At times he's getting hit in the face. He's taking so much physicality. That Keita guy was a little bit of annoying, like with him getting on the boards and dunking it back. And, there were times where Jakob got hit by people and there's just no respect for it. So we got to realize, have some respect for our big Austrian center because that man's putting his body on the line, taking physical thwackings, and he's not complaining about it. And he's tough as nails. And he's the most generous teammate. There's so many things about Yak that are just so awesome and positive about what it means to play basketball and what it really is about. And that's rebounding. That's being a teammate. That's doing the things, the dirty things that nobody else wants to do that somebody has to do. And that's my guy, Jakob Poeltl. We love you, Yak. We love you, and congratulations on your career high in points last night. Yeah, second star, you know who it is. Well, wait, is it? Is it? No, yes, it is. It's RJ Barrett. Of course it is. Triple-double. RJ got a triple-double for the first time in his career. Never did that in New York. No, he didn't. And the New York fans are probably waking up and saying, RJ got a triple-double last night? 15 assists? What? Huh? Yeah, RJ did. 10 for 27, 1 for 3 at the three-point line, 4 of 9 at the free throw line. That's the thing there, RJ. Missed 5 free throws, and we lost by 3. No, in some ways, that's the thing's going to bug him. He has a relationship with the free throw line. Obviously, he came back and talked to it after he missed those couple. He's like, are we good? Come on. Are we good now? Come on. He's asking the free throw line. Yeah, RJ, that's the Achilles heel right there. 10 rebounds, 15 assists, 25 points, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover, +3 in 42 minutes. Logging heavy minutes. RJ's tireless. RJ's a badass. He's a warrior. He puts on that jersey for the city of Toronto like he was from there, and he is. And that's part of it right there. That dude is playing for us. He's playing for us, meaning him, us, you, me, Canada, Toronto. And he's doing it out there, man. We saw him hit a very key 3 late in the game, the shot clock running out, and it was not, it was a scramble shot. And that's what I'm saying. We need to let him take those big shots at the end of the game. Because did you see that crazy ass shot he bombed and made over the outstretched arms of Jaylen Brown, or whichever one? It was either Brown or Tatum guarding him, and he made it over them. Oh my gosh. That is big time, man. That's big time shots, big cojones, big time playmaking to have the shot clock running out and the Raptors in trouble, and boom, he hits a 3 like that. That's what I'm saying. It's going to come around for him and Grady Dick in clutch moments to make big shots, and you'll be there for it. You're there for the failures. You better be there for the successes is what I'm saying right there. The third star of the game for me is the other Canadian guy who played for us off the bench, Chris Boucher, always coming in with the good energy, just working and fighting for the Canadian side of things also. 20 minutes, 5 of 6 from the field. He only missed 1 shot, 2 of 3 from 3, 3 of 3 at the free throw line. Beautiful. 4 offensive rebounds, 5 total. Just 1 turnover, 15 points in 20 minutes. Yeah, Chris is Chris. And Chris going to be Chrising out there. And thank you, Chris. I appreciate you, Chris. Yes, keep going, Chris. Keep going, Chris. That's what I'm going to say. Keep going, Chris. Whatever you're doing, keep doing. I like it. There's your 3 stars of the game for the Raptors last night against the Celtics in overtime. Yeah, amazing stuff. That's amazing stuff. Yeah, Trevor's saying RJ and Yak put up correct performance. Too bad they didn't get the wind. Correct performance. They put up a correct performance. Yeah, I like that word, correct. A correct performance. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Jimmy Pope's here, the Pope of positivity. That travel at the end is ridiculous. The referee looking right at him. Mind you, these are the best referees in the world. The best. The best. All right, I'm gonna break this down, Jimmy. I love you, man. And in some ways, this is what I got to say about this. They don't call this kind of shit at the end of the games. I wish they did. And some of the superstars in the league, like Jason Tatum, understand this. And, he's not going to shake Ochai Agbaji off of him without a little cheating, right? So he does a little hop to the hop. It's like Eddie Murphy said in that Tank movie, he's like, I want to see you dance, motherfucker. And well, he danced. He did a little dance there. And it was a little shuffle, shuffle. And, I wouldn't even notice it. I didn't notice it live when I saw it. So the refs, they didn't notice it either. But, somebody can break down the tape, go back and look at it, you'll see it. And, but once again, these kind of moments, they allow for this kind of shit. They'll allow for a lot more right at the end of the game. You have to, that's why we're saying you have to absolutely bona fide beat them. That was a big time shot. He did travel. I mean, this is the same kind of shit as like JJ Redick calling Kawhi for traveling in the shot against Philadelphia, because you can't go back and kind of do it. I agree with you. I think he traveled, and the referees maybe could have called it, but they're not going to do that in that situation. Think about that. That's not the storyline that they want written. That a star of the Celtics fails and travels and turns the ball over right at the end of the game, and the Raptors go and take it to the other end and win. No, they don't want to do that. In some ways, they'll allow for him to get an extra step or two, little dance steps, and take that shot and make it, because the storyline of him hitting a buzzer beater in the home crowd. Think about them calling a travel on him and what the home crowd would do in that moment. Oh my gosh. And I'm not trying to justify because I know you're right. You're exactly right. There was a travel, and in a perfect world, maybe with AI robotic referees, they call it and they stop it. And that's what I'll be really into, is if we can get officiating that's automated, that is absolutely down the line, and is absolutely, that would be amazing for the game, honestly, in some ways, because it would really be a level playing field. But alas, that's not the world we live in. We live in a world with referees that are the best in the world, and this kind of stuff happens. Now, we had to be that much better. In some ways, this is part of the learning that I've said. This is part of what I've told people for years now. The Raptors have to have a 10-point double-digit lead at the end, or the refs will try and screw us. And we can't have close games like this. The only way we win close games like this is when we're at a high level like we were around the championship year, when we have veterans like Ibaka, Gasol, Lowry, Siakam, those kind of guys. That's the only time we can go in and play with teams like Tatum and Brown and go toe to toe with them and kind of match them with wiliness as vets at the end. But with a young team like this, we don't want to be in a close game or an overtime game like this. We have to blow teams out. We really do. We have to get double-digit leads in the fourth and just absolutely beat them to get the W's right now. Because if it's going to be a close game and it's managed and there's going to be bouncing back and forth, there's first of all going to be ref manipulation to an extent. But second of all, our guys may not know exactly what to do the right things at that time yet, because they haven't figured it out. And the other team may know better. So the best insurance for the Raptors to get W's in this current edition of who they are is to blow teams out and get big leads and just cruise to victories where it's not even close. Because if it's close, shit like this will happen. Shit like this will happen right there. Jimmy's saying no one cared who I was until I put on the mask. Yeah, Scotty's eager. I can tell. They said that he's missed 10 or 11 games now. And, he's thinking about that 65 game rule. I think he is. That's the thing. He can miss, let's see, 82 games, 65. He can miss 17 games, and that's it. So he's getting closer to that 17 games if he's missed 11 at this point. So he probably does really badly want to get back on the court in the very near future, and he probably will. That's the thing. You've missed so much time already this year, Scott. You can't miss any more time for the rest of the year. Will you promise me, bro, that you'll play once you come back for the rest of the year and you won't sit any more games once you come back in the mask? Can you promise me that, bro? Please, man. Broski, do one solid for your old Florida State buddy here, the Raptors freak. Can you come back and play for the rest of the season without missing any more games? Because that will help us a lot. That'll get us some more wins coming towards us. Yeah, I would do that, Scott, because think about it. You need to get your bonuses. You need to try and get all NBA still, and you need to try and max out your contract with the incentives. So there's a lot of incentive for Scott to be healthy and come back and wear a mask and be a superhero. Yeah, there's a lot of it. Yeah, they're gonna care. I'm gonna care. I'm gonna love seeing it. I want to see Scotty come back and play for the rest of the season. That's what I want. That's right. Smooth saying RJ and his free throws are a big problem, man. Yeah, I agree with you. They were a problem last year, and they're still continuing to be a problem right now. I don't even understand it totally. Like, RJ, I don't understand it. They asked Darko about this in the interview after the game. It's like, are you going to do anything with these guys missing free throws? Like, what do you tell them to do? Do you punish them? Do you make them go and shoot like a certain amount of free throws afterwards? He's like, Darko's kind of like, yes, I do all of this. He does. He does. He's got things that he's working on with them to get them to shoot better. He's had different results with different ones. I think Jakob's improved his free throw shooting immensely in this stint of being on the Raptors under Darko. He didn't even shoot that well when Nick was still the coach. It was last year into this year that Jakob started improving with his free throw shooting. But yeah, I noticed this last year that RJ, who's actually a pretty good free throw shooter historically on the Knicks, it's just in Toronto, he's not been a good free throw shooter for us. And that's bullshit, RJ. What's going on, man? Part of it I thought last year was the distraction of the passing of his brother in that moment. I don't know. In some ways, you got to figure this out because this is too much. This is too bad. And you should be better than this. And it is a problem. I agree with Smooth. This is something that irks the hell out of me, RJ. I love so much about you in all kinds of ways. You got your first triple double. You are really carrying us on your back, and you are a real one, and you're fighting in a way that's very passionate. And, they can't say that we don't have any dogs on this team this year because, yeah, you may not be a full-fledged dog. You are a dog. You're not a pup. You are a dog. You are a dog, and you're dogging it out there. You're talking, you're fighting, you're screaming, you're beating your chest. Now, I like that. But the free throws, man, what's going on? Concentrate. Maybe start shooting them right-handed. You're ambidextrous, right, RJ? So maybe no more left-handed free throws. Maybe you start trying to shoot them with the right hand or something. Something's not right with the guide hand is what's happening. The guide hand ain't right. It's like you're just pushing it like a Yaka push shot, but the guide hand ain't there to do you right, and you're missing to the sides is what I'm noticing with your free throw misses, RJ. So somebody tighten up with your guide hand and maybe your follow-through. Maybe your follow-through is not going all the way to shoo through the middle of the hoop. I don't know. Get back to the fundamentals on that and something. Come on, man. We need you to make these because this is been a factor. Is this part of the stealth tank? It's like RJ, like, don't worry, Masai, I got us. We're gonna miss some free throws here tonight. Yeah. I mean, we'll play the other side. We can be Dark Brandon here. And we'll just be like, yeah, we're doing this on purpose. He's doing it on purpose. He's shaving shots so we don't win. Y'all, it's the plan, y'all. Yeah, that's why. We're so good at cell tanking. We'll take the champs all the way to the brink in overtime and lose on a game winner to Jason Tatum. That's what some people are saying right now. They're like, damn, the Raptors are masters of what they do. They are masters of this. Make it look good. Make it look real good, but don't win. Yeah. Hey, I don't like losing. I got to somehow make fun or have fun with this. I'm saying this is something we got to do here, man. G saying make free throws. Please make free throws, RJ. That alone would have won the game. Limit turnovers too, but they are making progress. Yak is underrated. Yes, and yes. They are making progress. I wouldn't give them any credit for holding the last two teams under 100, but this game, they did a really good job of holding a very potent offense with a lot of really good scores to not shooting well. The Celtics had an off night last night. Seriously, they were definitely ripe for the picking. Now, if they were on where they're normally like crazy on, they blow us out. But because they were not shooting well, partly because we had really good defense. And that's part of the fun. Let's look at the team stats real quick because I feel like the Raptors did some very underrated things last night. In some ways, they kept the Celtics to shooting to 44%. That's fantastic. And meanwhile, we shot 51%. So that's really, really good. Of course, the Celtics took 61 3-pointers last night, which is absolutely nuts. But they shot 34%. We shot better at 39%. We only had 9 because we only took 23 free throws, 3-pointers, sorry. The free throw line, we actually got to the line 2 more times than them, so we can't say the rep manipulation was putting them on the line, making them free throw merchants, although they did a +3 on us at the free throw line, and that's the difference in the game. So, yes, RJ missing 4 or 5 free throws was a big deal last night. We missed 7 altogether, and, they made 3 more points at the free throw line. That's the game right there. They shot 89.5% from the free throw line. We shot 66.7. So there it is right there. You guys are exactly right. But in some ways, there's all kinds of other factors that determine a basketball game, and everything and weird things and referees and fouls and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of factors. Rebounds, we out rebounded them 46-42. Assists, 35 assists. Great job by the Raptors on that. Stocks 5 to their 8. So they were a little bit better on the defensive stocks. Off fast break, we got 21 points on the fast break. That was pretty good. And we dominated the paint, just like was alluded to earlier. Give him a sign, Kareem Thomas for Pirtle. 76 points in the paint to only 42 for them. Of course, they're taking everything outside. Yeah, I mean, the stats were nice for us in a lot of places. We held them to a nice low shooting percentage, and we got to the free throw line more than them. We shot pretty good in a lot of different areas. We out-rebounded them. We got the points in the paint, but the free throw line and missing too many and them making most of theirs, well, that's the difference right there. That's the difference right there, right there. Shir Khan is in the house. Raptor Freak, former Rookie of the Year. Shir Khan, what is he saying? Good morning, Raptor Freak family. I've had enough of this 8-on-5 BS. There you go. I'm with you, Shir Khan. He's just had enough. I saw at least half a dozen calls that were either not called for the Raps or phantom calls for the Celtics. It's impossible to get calls against the champs. Nuts. Yeah. I thought that Evan Scott was looking out for us on some stuff. He really was. And, he sounds like a country bumpkin, and he's kind of funny on the challenge mic, but he was looking out for us on some stuff, and he was down the line. But Van Dyne was very crooked. He was the one who was doing a lot of the shady stuff, Shir Khan. Now, all of them are guilty of swallowing the whistle when RJ's getting fouled, and they're looking the other way, though. But, yeah, it is annoying. In some ways, that's why I keep saying we have to be that much better. We have to be that much better because the odds are stacked against us. And in some ways, this is not easy for the Raptors. Nothing's easy. That's why we have to be that badass. And that's why, you know what? I feel real good about our team because we have so much against us and we're still competing against the top level team in the league. And it doesn't matter if our record's so bad because artificially our record looks like this, whether it's the schedule, whether it's the referees, whether it's injuries. Our record looks like this because of a whole tumultuous mix of bullshit. And in some ways, we can go out on a given Saturday night and take the champions to overtime and they just barely beat us on a buzzer beater and their team player had to travel to do it. Yeah, we can see the realism, the realisticness of this. And in some ways, people read the paper that didn't watch the game and they can say, oh, the Raptors lost again. Well, did you see the game? Did you see how it happened? Did you see the fight they had and the compete they had with the best team in the league, the defending champs? I got to say that, man. I got to say that. Yeah, Shir Khan, listen, it's ugly right now. In some ways, we got to get powerful again so that we can battle all 8 of our opponents. Yeah, all 8 of them. Yeah, Smooth saying RJ was also fouled on the fast break as well. No call. Wow. Raptors' last possession of the game, Jakob was pushed, a clear foul. Yes. Yeah, that was one where Jakob got pushed out of bounds. There was tons of that stuff. Lots of no calls. Cheap win for the Celtics. In some ways, the NBA script writing, but also in some ways, we had a brass ring in front of us. We fought so hard to get so far and get so close, and we didn't just reach out and snatch it with the last little part. That's part of it, too. In some ways, we can't be an excuse team. In some ways, I'm blaming a lot of different things right now, but ultimately, the Raptors have to do the things that they need to do to take the win. And that's the only way you can do things in the NBA. That's why it's so hard to win in this league. People keep saying this. Yeah, they're going to do storylines. They're going to help the home team. They're going to help the champs. They're going to help script write. But in some ways, we can go off script. But we have to be very, very determined, dominant, and very, very perfect in some ways to get that. That's just how it is. But, yeah, there are a lot of non-calls last night, and Raptors fans are frustrated. Fuck you, NBA. Fuck you and your bullshit. That's what I say right now. Yeah. Shir Khan saying, as far as our guys are concerned, we're better than good. This is going to be a scary good team once everyone is back. Just have to get the refs on our side for the calls. That's going to be tough. Yeah, I mean, it's respect earned, but in some ways they don't really allow you to get respect at the same paces. Like they'll give new Celtics players respect earlier than a new Raptors player. And in some ways, it's like takes so long to get respect as a Raptor player. Now, Scott is on his journey. And in some ways, Scotty Barnes can get more respect over time. Maybe RJ will finally bust through and start becoming more of a free throw merchant at some point. Manu quickly get some respect. In some ways, we just got to earn the respect. But I don't know how they dole it out or where they decide when they want to start giving you respect. That's the weird thing about this league. I was waiting for it with Siakam for a long, long time. And Siakam just doesn't get respect. Does he get it in Indiana now? Does he get it for the Pacers? We're going to see them tomorrow. They're coming to Toronto tomorrow. I'll have the preview for the game tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah, repeating myself. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, G saying Yak gets no calls. He is hacked all game, but usually in foul trouble. That's the key to ref manipulation. Yeah, it's so annoying. It is part of it. It is part of it. I mean, but we're battling and we're going through it. And Darko didn't blame the refs last night, guys. Darko didn't blame the refs. In fact, he said this. He said, I'm very proud of our guys. I'm very proud of how they fought. I'm really proud of the energy and the effort. And he's being very positive. RJ, he blamed the back-to-back. That's what he said in the post-game conference. He said, I'm going to chalk this up to the back-to-back. This is why we lost. He's saying he blames being tired from the back-to-back, not be able to complete the game and win it. That's interesting. It is fishy. The Celtics schedule is weird, man. It's weird. Like this game against us last night was on an island away from any other games. They last played on like Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. They played Wednesday night, and then they had 2 days off, Thursday and Friday. They played us, and we had to play last night, the night before in Detroit, against Detroit in Toronto. And they don't play again till Tuesday now. Like they get 2 days off before and 2 days off after our game. And their game on Tuesday is an in-season tournament game. So, man, I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. The schedules makers are rolling the red carpet out for them in gracious, helpful ways. As far as like, oh, they get 2 days rest before their in-season tournament game, and they're probably at home for it. Or maybe if they're traveling, it's just one little trip. Who cares? Meanwhile, we play our first in-season tournament game on the road as a fifth game on a 5-game West Coast road trip that was in California. I'm telling you, the schedule makers are just as guilty as the refs in some ways for manipulating things for the NBA storylines. And the Celtics are getting the cushiest schedule in all kinds of different ways. I'll bet you money where they get great rest on different things. And maybe they put really shitty opponents, so it's easier to take care of 2 games in 2 nights. Yeah, it's that kind of shit, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, schedule manipulation, ref manipulation. There's 2 going on there. Fiercey's here. Good morning, fam, and happy Sunday. I'm not even mad at the outcome of the game. We are learning and growing. The wins will come. Also, most East teams are bad. Our excuse is that we're rebuilding. Yeah, the East is very bad, and it's such a weird phenomena to see such a imbalance between the Eastern and Western Conference. And I don't even know if it's exactly that the East teams are bad. It's just that I think that the schedule makers once again did a really weird thing that favored certain things. We've had a really weird bunch of games against the Western Conference already. Like we're done with Sacramento, the Lakers, and Denver. We've played all our games against these teams for the whole entire year. That's fishy to me. That is fishy to me. And also the fact that we've had so many road games already this season. Like I was looking at it, it's like, man, we've had like 9 road games already this season. We've barely been at home in some ways. And other teams have had tons of home games already. There's so many different ways they can manipulate the schedule and help different things. But yeah, the East is losing way more than the West right now. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Fiercey, I'm glad you have a positive outlook on what happened last night. I'm trying to be more like you and not be that mad about the game. In some ways, I just turn my brain off about it and say, well, it is what it is. And, tomorrow's another day. And this is the NBA. They're going to play Siakam in Indiana on Monday. And we'll go look forward to that next. How about that? Yeah, we're playing a lot of rookies and we're competing. That's right. We're rebuilding, and there's a lot of rookies playing for us, and they're doing all right. Let's go look at what happened with them on the box score, going over the rest of it. Davion Mitchell could have been one of my stars last night. He actually had a very solid game. I was very happy with Davion. After being unhappy with him against Detroit, he stepped up last night. 4 of 5 from the field, so he's very efficient. 1 of 2 from 3. They dared him to take a 3, and he hit it. 1 for 1 at the free throw line, perfect. 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 0 turnovers. So he's a 5-0 assist turnover ratio. If they had won, he would have been one of my 5 stars. Another steal, 10 points. So, yeah, 10 points for Davion. He was contributing. He did some things to help us out. That's fantastic. Ochai Agbaji, 5 of 13, 3 of 8 from the 3, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 13 points. Agbaji got over the slumping game on Friday night. He slumped. and he had a better game last night. He still didn't shoot very well, but he did hit some key threes at certain times that were fantastic. And he did a yeoman's work of trying to guard the very top tier players on the Boston Celtics, Brown and Tatum. Very, very good job by Oshai. He was actually on the down low, very, very important last night to what we were doing defensively. And I give him a lot of credit. Grady had the toughest game of all the starters. He did not look that good in some ways, but they were fouling the hell out of him, and they were definitely sticking to him. And Derek White had his number, literally, as I'm guarding number one, I'm going to chase him around. And he did a good job of stifling him. This is the new increased level of attention to Grady. He's got to adjust to and get better at. And we need to devise good schemes to free him up in different ways also. Grady's got to be that much quicker with his release. He's got to be that much quicker with his steps. He's got to be that more efficient. And he's got to figure out how much time he has exactly against certain people. Because, man, they were coming looking for him all the time. 3 of 12. That's how much they were getting in his face and messing him up. 1 of 5 from the three-point range. He should have been 2 because they took that shot away from him. I talked about it earlier. That was such a nefarious ref manipulation early. That hurt, because in some ways, think about this. Grady's trying to get in a groove. He finally gets a shot to go in, and they cancel it. That's got to be deflating to a point. And in some ways, that they're trying to shake Grady's confidence in some ways. They know Grady is a very, very good shooter. And maybe Aaron Ben Rose's little fucking interview bullshit the other day with Oshai and him was part of, like, let's try and shake Grady's confidence by making him second guess himself. That's why I fucking hate you, Aaron Rose. Your bullshit. Trying to do that fucking little Jedi mind trick in the interviews the other day. That, we don't want Grady is not going to get flapped though. Here, this is the thing. He's unflappable. Y'all think he's going to get all messed up, but he's not, because he's that kind of mentality and trained himself that he's a very short memory and he's going to be okay. Even if Justin Van Dyne steals his first 3-pointer of the game, even if he does that, he doesn't care. He's going to keep going and doing what he does. In some ways, he's the cyborg in that way as a shooter, like Kawhi Leonard's a cyborg as a human being. I'm just saying, you trying to fuck with Grady's confidence. I can tell, NBA. I can tell other team with the defenders all over him. I can tell with the extra physicality, they're trying to beat him down and make him give up. Grady's not going to give up, though. That's the thing y'all going to find out. And later on in the game, he did hit key shots. He had a nice little play that they set up for him where he came around a curl screen at the top of the key and went right down the lane and laid it up and used his speed to beat Derek White and get away from him and finally get around the defense. Yeah, it's tough, man. They're really keen on him. And 1 for 5 from 3, 2 for 2 from free throw land, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, though. He found ways to contribute even if he wasn't hitting his shot himself because they were just stymieing him. 9 points for Grady. Yeah, they're trying to take that weapon away from us because other teams got the news that Grady Dick is a badass and we got to guard him. We got to guard him. On the bench, Bruno Fernando, scary ankle twist. Thank God he came back. Bruno, thank God. And in some ways, you're a mixed bag of things that piss me off and things that make me happy. There's maybe a play I'm like, oh, Bruno, thank you. And then like, oh, what the fuck are you doing, Bruno? Like there was the play where he saved it going out of bounds and he kind of shoveled past it. Now, this is the thing. This is a rule, and old basketball heads know this, but I guess they don't teach kids in AAU or anything like that anymore. You're not supposed to save the ball on your end of the court. If you're underneath your basket and you've pitched the ball back towards you, well, think about this. The ball is going to the opposition. They're going to go down the court, and they're going to have a man advantage because you're the one who's the furthest back because you're the one who threw it. So he throws it, and this is what Bruno should have done in that moment. He should have tried to catch his balance before he went out of bounds and held it, not go out of bounds like because of his momentum and throw the ball blindly back to the Celtics so that they get a Peyton Pritchard 3-pointer off of that. That was a key moment. And in some ways, we could blame that for part of the reason why we lost last night because Bruno Fernando shoveled past it blindly, past him when he was going out of bounds, and the Celtics caught it and got an easy transition 3. Because of that. That's a no-no. And the coaches need to talk to you, Fernando, about this. You've been in this league how long? In some ways, I'm shocked how many guys saved the ball under their own basket these days. That wasn't really under our own basket, but he was blindly throwing the ball. He didn't even see who he was throwing it to. Come on, man. There's got to be some sort of combination of either you stop on a dime and hold it without going out of bounds, or turn your damn head and look to see who you're throwing it to. Seriously, that was a big fuck up. And it bugged me. That play bugged me when Bruno Fernando tried to save the ball like that. You may be better off just letting the ball go out of bounds. Seriously, even if it's the Celtics ball, because you set them up for an easy transition three when you did that, Bruno Fernando. So, yeah, 2 of 4 from the field. So he shot pretty good. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 points in 9 minutes. Yeah, that's my key thing to say about Bruno. And also that I'm thankful that he didn't get seriously hurt last night. Jamison Battle came out and hit a 3. That's what he does. He's money for at least 1 3 during the game. The only shot he took, he bombed it and made it. 1 assist, 3 points. Jamison's going to be great. I'm really excited. I want him around. I'm not second guessing the decisions that they made just because Carlson's in Oklahoma City now. I'm not. I am so glad we have Jamison Battle. Seriously, this dude is a bona fide shooter, and he's doing a great job so far as a rookie. Jonathan Mobo, a real quiet game. 1 of 2 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He missed a free throw that could have helped. 5 rebounds, though. 3 points in 17 minutes. Yeah, he's just out there being active. In some ways, he was going to be our backup center all of a sudden if Bruno hadn't been able to come back. And that's a tall order. In some ways, you got Cornette and you got Keita on the other side. Those guys are pretty long, tall guys. And, well, Jonathan will just do his best job. Once again, he's showing up in different spots, being an aggravator. He's playing against Tatum and Brown, and he's doing his best to mix it up with some of the best in the league. Jamal Shed, 21 minutes, 3 of 9 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3-point range, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 1 turnover, so 4-to-1 ratio. So 9-to-1 overall assist to turnover ratio for our 2-point guards. That's pretty good. You put RJ in there also, you got a 24-to-2 assist to turnover ratio. That's badass. That's a 12-to-1 ratio for assists to turnovers between the 2-point guards and RJ Barrett getting 15 and 1. 15 assists, 1 turnover. RJ Barrett. That's badass right there. So, yeah, really good taking care of the ball and finding people. And they did better at that than they did against the Pistons. And that's against the Celtics. That's pretty interesting to me. Yeah, Shed only had 6 points, though. Yeah, he could have scored some more. But I like the decision-making that Shed was making around the basket to call his own number and take those shots. He's at times been hesitant in the land of the Giants as a little guy to go in there and try and put shots up there. But he's measuring himself. He's getting room, and he's making sure they go in. That's the most important thing. He's very patient and smart about when to put up that shot near the basket and get the little rim around, fall in, whatever. I like that. That's really good signs that he can try. And he even pulled up a midi. He dribbled in, stopped, and popped the midi. And that was really smart too. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from Shed. He had a better game last night. Both him and Mitchell showed up last night. They're a big factor in why we competed with the Celtics last night. So, yeah, there's your bench report. Looking at that bench. Yeah. Smooth saying, wait, that Yak play was not the last possession. It was the RJ drive. Oshai was wide open on the right side, man. Yeah, I mean, there's always second guessing. But listen, RJ was looking for a foul too, but he didn't get it. And maybe that was the wrong call because the consistent call is not to give you a call, RJ. So maybe you don't need to. Maybe you should have pulled it out there. I don't know. In some ways, we can't second guess it. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be what it's going to be. So we're saying that should have been a drive and kick out. I don't want to second guess these guys because honestly, if we play basketball ourselves, you got to just go with the flow and what it seems like is the thing to do. And yeah, there's always multiple choices. And, that we only second guess when there's failure. It's kind of like what they said about Grady taking the shots against Detroit on Friday. We live and die with it every single time. In some ways, if RJ wants to call his number and he doesn't kick it out to Oshai, maybe that is the better play. But in the moment, we can't, we can't just stop. And it's tough, man. In some ways, I get it. You want an armchair quarterback and say this probably was the better decision. But, it's so hard to just kind of, I don't know. Do you kind of understand what I'm trying to say? It's kind of like if you're in the heat of the moment, you're going to do what you think is the best thing. And yeah, if it wasn't, well, of course, other people are going to come around and say, well, you should have kicked it to Oshai instead. Jimmy's saying RJ does need to lock into the free throws. It's mostly mental. I hope he finds his groove. Otherwise, he played a great game. Yeah, that, and maybe what we're saying right now with Smooth could be detrimental. I don't think so, though. I mean, the guy had 15 assists, so he's sharing the ball. It's not like he's a selfish guy. It's not like he's calling his number and he's Javon Freeman Liberty over and over again down the court. No, we gotta be fair. And RJ in some ways wants to be that guy that carries us to the victory and hits the big shot. So he's going to try and go take it. I think that with Scotty and Emmanuel out, RJ and Grady are the most likely guys to take the big shot for us and win games for us. And they need to continue to do that. Oshai maybe is money in the corner, maybe should have took it. But I mean, we can second guess all kinds of different things and all kinds of different instances around the whole game. I mean, I just second guessed Bruno Fernando for a shovel pass going out of bounds for a really dumb save for saving the ball. Some people saw that hustling, like, oh, he's hustling, he's doing something. No, that's a really bad play because he's out of the play. He's not going to get back, and they're going to have an advantage. And boom, there's a Peyton 3-pointer. And that's a problem right there. Yeah. G saying, what a shocker. OG is averaging more free throws this year than he has any year as a Raptor. Yeah, what a shocker. See, this is what we need to do. We need to do a graduate level college paper on the difference in free throws for Raptors and former Raptors and different places they go. We'll do all the research. We'll write it, and we'll cite all of our references. We'll do it to the whatever, what do they call it? What do they call it when you have to do a paper? You have to do it to certain standards with your citing of your references and stuff like that. We'll do it like that. We'll make it an official research paper, and we'll show the evidence of what we're talking about right here, because I'm sure we could find a lot of good cases to exemplify our theories on foul calls for the Raptors versus the rest of the league. We'll have to go and take the data about Siakam too, and we'll have to go see what it's up. Yeah, what a shocker. OG's finding the line playing for the Knicks that he never found and when he played for Toronto. What a shocker. What a shocker. Shocker. Jimmy saying the fight this team has been showing this season has surprised me. We're not getting blown out by 30 every night, and we don't have two of our best players plus some of our depth. I'm not upset. Yeah, in some ways, this is being realistic. Casual fans, half-ass fans that just kind of don't really follow the team closely are like, wow, the Raptors really suck. Look at their record and look at where they are on the paper. Well, they're not watching the games. They're not understanding how this is coming about. They're probably not assessing things accurately, and they probably shouldn't have any opinions on what they think the Raptors should be doing with their team in any kind of aspect, whether it's front office or coach or whatever. Yeah, it's amazing just how much people are coming into spaces and still saying, get rid of the front office, start a whole entire new rebuild all around and the whole entire franchise. You just want to decimate the ground. You're not a Raptors fan. You hate basketball, obviously. And you just want to see the Raptors continue to struggle at the very lowest levels if you want to burn the whole franchise to the ground and start all over. That's messed up. And you know what? The people that are saying this kind of stuff, a lot of them are from out west, I've noticed. A lot of people from Calgary, a lot of people from the western provinces have really fucked up ideas about how to fix the Raptors. And I'm kind of like, shut the fuck up, Western Canadians. You are not near the epicenter. You are not on the pulse of things, unless you're watching the Raptors channel like our friend Seymour Pape. You're not on the pulse of things. So just keep your opinions yourself and go watch Connor McDavid, motherfuckers. That's what I say to them. That's what I say to them right there. That's right. That's right. Isaac's saying, I still blame that Celtics fan serving us at the NBA restaurant. There you go. There you go. Bring up a moment, a funny moment in Raptor Freak history. A Curb Your Enthusiasm moment with Lex. Yeah, and Tommy Dookie got mad at me that day because he was like, well, you're not being polite to the asshole server. Tommy, come on, man. Come on, man. I guess it's just Tom and I just not like us. You're not like me, Tom, I guess, as I'm that diehard. And I fucking hate Celtics fans, especially one that's trying to serve me at the NBA restaurant with my good friend Isaac Campbell's in town from Ottawa. Yeah, we could blame that guy. We can blame that guy. You know, when I went back, Isaac, that guy wasn't there anymore. So maybe he got fired. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Nah, they were all wearing NBA shirts and not repping teams. And that was kind of bullshit. Why was that guy there doing that? Seriously, what was that? In some ways, this is just part of the conspiracy. The NBA against the Raptors is put Boston Celtics fans in there on the day of when we played them in the in-season tournament in an NBA Cup game. Yeah, that was such crazy. That was a year ago. That was funny. That's funny. That's a funny moment, Isaac. Thank you for reminding me. Fiercely saying, congrats to Jakob on getting his career high. That's right. And I love what he says. You know, Jakob's always talking He did it in Austrian. He's talking about the game and doing his little report and talking about it. It's not really that interesting, but yeah, he's always doing his little report for his fans back in his home country. Yeah, congratulations, 35. That's an achievement. Now go get 40 next. Yeah. Shir Khan saying Raptors should wear green against the Celtics to confuse the refs. Nothing wrong with what the Raps brought to the table. NBA needs to fix this bias called BS that is destroying watching experience for the rest of us. It's just that we can't think that it's on the up and up if we can see right through it and understand just how like it manipulated it is. And that's the problem right there. And it sucks, Shir Khan. In some ways, you should be able to go to Raptors Tonight and expound on these opinions with the guys like Randy Urban and tell them is like see what Randy Urban says about this and a bias. A lot of the media people, Jack and Matt are pretty fair. They'll call stuff out like they did last night as far as a lot of contact on Jakob here, a lot of contact on RJ here. Why are they not calling this? But in some ways, the NBA media people, they kind of like keep it going. I mean, listen to Nikki Reyes glaze the Boston Celtics before the game. She's so annoying, by the way. Like, she's bubbly and annoying. Like, she's somebody that I'm like, you're just annoying. You're fucking annoying, Nikki Reyes. And the way that you just glaze the hell out of our opponents in the pregame, I get it. In some ways, you're presenting the NBA to the Toronto crowd, but it's Toronto fans watching. And in some ways, you just kiss the ass of whoever we're playing and talking them up. You're just so annoying. Really, really annoying. And don't get me started on Wilson. Seriously, that motherfucker. I was hoping that guy would be gone by now. But I guess the betting is here to stay. And I can tell the disdain that Leo Routens has for that young man still. That he's like, yeah, he's wearing that suit. He's going to go out on the town with that suit. He's trolling him in the middle of the broadcast. I love it. You go, Leo. You go, Leo. And we old heads, we got to stick together with this stupid ass betting world that's come into basketball all of a sudden. We got a stick on this. That's right. That's right. That's right. Jimmy saying, nah, he was Bruce Wayne last night. Laughed my ass off. Yeah, wearing that he looked a little bit like Commissioner Gordon, like the one with Gary Oldman. Isn't that Gotham, the show where Commissioner Gordon, he had that kind of look to the style with the jacket coat, Yeah. Well, very, very cool. Scotty obviously cares about his team more than he cares about the Jones fight or even, who knows, they probably watched the Tyson fight the night before. I'm proud of Mike. I'm hearing more and more about the fight that he stuck with him. And it's true. He's 58. The kid is half his age. And he physically was able to go that whole time with him and not get tired. Some people want to say some things about that fight the other night and this and that. But yeah, he was laughing. Mike Tyson got $20 million for doing that. So I think everything worked out for Tyson, even if it was a unanimous decision for Paul. Yeah, that's all bogus bullshit anyway. I mean, they can put it whichever way they want to. And, they don't want to make Paul look bad because he's a future money earning himself as a fighter. And Tyson, he's going off in the sunset. So it is what it is. But yeah, more fallout from that. It's interesting. Wayne's here. Good to see Wayne's trainer in the chat once again. Raptors need their flowers. I like that. Jason started with the comment that we weren't that talented, but play hard. Take it for what it's worth. Referees help them in every way. Which way? Too much to state. Fraud. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've kind of glossed over some of it. I've brought up very key moments where they were like Van Dyne on the offensive screen on Grady's made three, foul on Jakob. That's a momentum killer. It's also a hurt the mentality of the young man kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. Jason said that first in the comment. I didn't know that. He said that we're not very talented, but we work hard. Okay, all right. Well, when Scotty's back out there, tell me how talented we are then, okay? When IQ's back, tell me how talented we are then, Jason Tatum, with your left-handed compliment. Yeah, whatever. I mean, those guys were bricking shots left and right last night, and I loved it. I loved it. Watching the Celtics take so many threes and brick them left and right. The one that was the most money was Al Horford. Al Horford, when he was shooting last night, he made most of his shots. He was 5 for 10 from three. So he was 50% from three. He was the biggest problem from three. Tatum, 5 of 12. Derek White, 3 for 12. He's usually pretty money. 3 of 10 for Sam Hauser. So we were bugging them. They did not shoot their normal rate at three. And that's a good job by the Raptors, getting to them and getting them their face. The play that Jason made, Baji was there and he was kind of in his face and was contested, fully contested. And Jason still made the shot. So, in some ways, that is very high level talent. And that is, something to win a game like it did last night, even if he traveled. Even if he traveled. Yeah. Let's see. Smooth saying, watch The Penguin, man. It's fantastic. You keep saying this. I know. I guess we've been talking about Batman, and The Penguin is the new show. And that's the one right now. Oswald T. Cobblepot. 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 He used his name, I'm sure, his real name. Smooth saying it's the best of the DC Marvel shows, man. The Penguin is the best one. Interesting. Interesting. Well, I just don't ingest new media. I'm over here watching like movies from 1984 and old shows like Square Pegs. I don't know why I'm watching Square Pegs. I like to call Square Pegs the original Sex in the City because Sarah Jessica Parker is on that show too. And it's hilarious. It's kind of fun to watch. It's like, oh, this is what Carrie Bradshaw was like in high school. Okay. All right, interesting. If anybody's a Sex in the City fan, go watch Square Pegs and act like it's the prequel to Sex in the City. It's hilarious. If you do that, it's funny. Yeah, Cool Cat is here. Coach Cool Cat is in the house. Good to see you, Cool Cat. Stargate's here also. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Why do fans, when analyzing the team's success, or rather lack of thereof, talk as if it's fully healthy, neglecting the fact that the starting five has not played a single second together yet? Yeah, I don't know. We got to keep reminding them. In some ways, the Raptor Freak family are information dispersers. And maybe some people just need to be educated. That may be the problem right there. Yeah, that's easy. Like a quick comment saying, well, we don't have any of our starters all together at the same time. Well, we're not seeing the full product, the full talent level, Jason Tatum. And yeah, I don't know why they do this. In some ways, like I said, I think that when a team loses in the NBA, there's a bunch of bots from other places that come into every team's places and just start saying, fire the coach, do this, get rid of this guy. This guy's garbage. Either that or they're just a lot of miserable people around in every team's fan base also. I don't know. I don't get it. I feel like there's some of the mechanisms they use for politics in recent years are being used in sports. And there's a lot of manufactured social media comments and things that aren't really actually from people. And then they're just kind of generic, cause confusion and chaos disruption. I really do feel like that's a phenomenon happening right now. Now, if they could get every single comment and bring me a real person and say, no, this is the guy who said it, this is the guy who said it, then I won't believe this. But a lot of it seems like so auto-generated. Some of it, some of the comments that come in, you can look in comment sections and you can kind of tell when this is not a real human being. This is some sort of comment that's just getting laid in here to add to the noise and maybe make it seem like there's a majority of people that are thinking this, because it may not be true. There may not be as many of these people as we think. It's just there's a lot of bots out there putting this kind of bullshit out. Yeah, I really believe that we need to start accepting this as far as what's happening in social media places. They are trying to manipulate what the consensus is by inflating it with fake people saying a bunch of stuff. I'm telling you, that's going on in all kinds of places right now. Isaac's saying this year we have 6 to 7 players that have taken their game to the next level. We have a bench. 905 is coming correct. And we have an identity again with on-ball pressure. Let's grow. Yeah, there's a lot of good seedlings right now. Now, let me break this down. We have 6 or 7 players that have taken their game to the next level. Yeah, there's definitely improvement in our Kansas guys. Jakob has shown improvement. RJ's improved with his passing. There's a lot of improvement for sure. We have a bench. Well, it depends. If we're healthy, we have an even better bench. That's for sure. That's what I'd like to see. So we haven't really seen the real bench because Scotty and IQ and RJ or Kelly and Bruce have been out. So 905 is coming correct. That's not totally true. They did a really good first game and won at the last second with Tyreek Key hitting a buzzer beater. Now they've lost 2 in a row, and they've looked more like last year's 905 the last 2 games. And that sucks. And, they're depleted. Now we've lost our starting center because he went to Oklahoma City. And DJ Carton's hurt. So today's game at 3 o'clock, I hope y'all join me on YouTube. I'll be in the comments. Maybe we'll see Blake Murphy in there hanging out with us again. We're playing the Capital City Go-Go at 3 o'clock. And here are refs for the game today. The referees are Pat O'Connell, Chelsea Painter, and AJ Ganelli. Of course, Pat O'Connell is an NBA ref also. We've had him ref one of the Raptors games earlier this season already. Chelsea Painter has somewhat been around the G League for a while. So that's the refs. We're playing Capital City Go-Go. And as I said, their team is very interesting right now. Some notable former Raptors on the other side. They got Leaky Black, who's a very funny name. John Butler of Florida State is playing for them. He's 7-footer. Justin Champagny is on this team. We will see Justin Champagny today against the 905. Taylor Funk is a fantastic shooter out of Utah State. I believe he was on the Wisconsin Herd last year or something, and he's a very, very tough shooter. We got to watch out for him. Our friend Mo Gay is going to be playing against us today. Mohamedou, who was a Raptor and a 905er last year, is going to be lining up against us today. So there's going to be a lot of chances for revenge guys to come at us, whether it's Mohamedou, whether it's Justin Champagny. Kyra Lewis is on the other side also. He's somebody that we traded last season in the Utah trade, I believe, when we got Kelly and Bruce Brown. He went that way with Otto Porter. Ruben Nebhard, DJ Rodman, as I said, the son of Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman Jr. will be playing against the Raptors 905 today for the Capital City Go-Go. And then Tristan Vucevic. I'm not even sure is he related to Vucevic that plays for the Bulls? I'm not even totally sure. Yeah, they have some talent on there and a lot of old Raptors connections on the Capital City Go-Go. Jump time is 3 p.m. this afternoon, y'all. YouTube live, free. I'll be in the chat. Hopefully you'll join me if you have nothing to do this afternoon and you want to watch some Urit Shamshay. That's right. Shamshay is probably going to start because our guy got called up to the Thunder. That's right. It'll be interesting. We'll have to see. Yeah, we're getting an identity again and ball pressure. I like that. Let's grow. Let's grow, Farmer Isaac. That's right. Get the tractor out. Nameless is saying, Jakob Pertl is my only star. There you go, Nameless. That's all right, my paisano. That's fine. You don't want to give RJ anything for a triple-double? Come on. I know he missed some free throws. You're holding that against him. G saying, do you think Boucher should be closing out games and even attempt a clutch shot? I feel like he has one of the most reps under pressure and also his length for rebounds and putbacks. This is a great question by G. You know what? For a great question, I'm going to give him a dunk. We're going to give G a dunk for a great question. This is a great mind exercise. You know, often lately he has kind of been in at the end of the games. 5-pointer, 121 for you. You know, he was in there, on Friday. He was in the crutch time because Grady was something was happening with Grady, and he wasn't able to be in the game. So they were playing the starters with Chris instead of Grady. And there was a little bit of these factors you're talking about. You know, obviously he has a nose for the ball, and he's really, really good to get the rebounds in the high-pressure situations. So I won't disagree with that. And also because lately is a whole other level, I would have a lot of trust in him to hit a clutch shot because some of his shots look like miracle shots right now, but they're going in. And that's the amazing thing. And he had a couple of those last night too. So, and yeah, he has a lot of experience. He's the longest standing Raptor. He's been on our team since the championship year. And in some ways, he has a lot of reps in high pressure situations, all kinds of situations. So I don't disagree with this. I actually really like this idea, G. And, you know, Darko, maybe you should consider having Chris Boucher around on the court in crunch situations that the rebounding itself could really pay off. As far as the fact, if we miss a shot at crunch time, that guy's jumping in there and grabbing a rebound. He's one of the best in the league at it, and he's putting it back in. And all of a sudden, we went off of a putback by Chris Boucher. No, I like this idea, G. And I think that they should seriously consider this, especially if one of the starters is not shooting so well and not totally necessary. It could also be that Jakob is not out there because of Hackayak. You know, they used to do Hackayak to him. They foul him on purpose and put him on the line. No, we don't want that. He can't play. We'll put Boucher in instead. I like that. I like that. Mike is here. Logical Raptors fanatic. Project Truth always, Mike. That's right, man. Seems like we're continuing to compete, but need more experience to get the wins. I think that's the nail on the head right there. The nail on the head. We're so close, yet so far away. Yeah, the experience is so good. So good. This is what it's like to play against the Celtics in overtime in their home building, and the loudness and the crowd and the pressure Grady Dick. This is what it's like, Jonathan Mobo, to play against the champions of the NBA and how it's ratcheted up. This is all important, Jamal Shed. For you, a winner from Houston, to learn the levels of what it takes to compete and go against the best in the NBA, like the Celtics last night in their home court, on and back-to-back the night after. Yes, stack everything against us, NBA. Put a back-to-back against us and let them rest 2 days. Put them at home and we'll still take them to the brink and almost scare the hell out of them and take that game from them. That's right. That's right. Matt E's here. Good morning, Matt. Good to see you. Such a tough loss. However, we are showing signs of being a great team who can compete in the future with more development. That's right. If there's one thing the Raptors do is we compete. And that's what we want, right? In some ways, we could have rolled over and just been, A lot of teams, lesser teams with lesser psyches will look at their record and they'll be like, nah, man, I'm checking out mentally for the year. I'm not going to give that extra effort. Why should I run out after threes? We're 2-11, Darko. No, Darko's got them right. And that's the sign of a good coach. That the team is so bad with their record right now that these guys aren't turning down the dial of ratcheting up. Like they're ratcheting it up, the energy, and going after them and competing and going after it. That's a really good sign of a good coach. And that's something that Raptors fans need to be more cognizant of generally across our fan base. That the signs could be they could be all holding their heads and acting all and stuff. No, in some ways the coaching staff, Pat Delaney, Jama, Coco, all them are keeping them up with Darko, and that's good. That's very, very good. Grady talking about this recently, that it's important to have good body language. His mother and his father, when they were training him when he was young, said that your body language carries so much. That's why I was so mad at Charlie Brown Jr. for having casual body language and being a fool. Well, Grady understands the way he carries his body out there. He's got to not ever let them see weakness. He's got to carry his body a certain way. And that is something that's important in the NBA that's not really talked about enough. And in some ways, this is something that we are showing even through all the defeats and all of the tough stuff that's going on in our schedule right now. Good to see you, Matt. I hope I see you more in the chat. Every morning, 9:30, we talk about Raptors for over 3 years now on this YouTube channel. And you can always get your comment read here, as long as it's within the parameters of most things on the channel. Mike's saying the Fire Darko people are weird as fuck. They think another coach could get like a bunch of rookies and young guys to be a top seed. Laugh out loud. Clueless idiots don't get basketball business. I know, Mike. Speak the gospel, my man, Mike. Project Truth, in effect, on what Mike is saying here. Yeah, you know what it is? They're egotists, these fucks. They're the guys who are on the ESPN trade machine thinking they could figure out how to trade to get our team better too. They're the same motherfuckers. They think that they could coach better than Darko. This is where they starts from. They're in their own head saying, I'm so smart. I could have coached that better than them. That's why they think somebody could coach better than him, because they think they could do it better. There's the new delusional idiots. They're crazy. They're absolutely batshit crazy. You go ahead and start 30 years ago with 15-year-old Serbian kids and start your journey in coaching, motherfucker sitting at home watching the game thinking you could do better than him. You go and find some 15-year-old Serbian kids in Toronto and start teaching them. And if you're like 20 years old or 18 years old, you start then and get to the point where you're at 45-year-old Darko Rajakovic, where he is at this point, coaching in Premier Leagues and Spain and doing the G League for many, many years. You motherfuckers think, oh, he's only an assistant coach. He's not a real coach. Motherfucker, you do not know his career. And the fact that they've been talking about Darko Rajakovic for over 10 years as being a possible head coach in this league doesn't mean he's a Johnny come lately. I heard Darko's name back in 2009, y'all. Seriously. I heard about him in 2009 when he came to the Spurs and he was being a special coach for them. No, he's been around the NBA for a while. Just because y'all casuals didn't know his name, and you think he's just some dude who showed up and he just came on the bus. He's just some dude who came from Serbia. I don't know who the fuck he is. Nah, motherfuckers. He's been around this league a long, long time. It's funny what he said, because they're talking about putting an NBA in Europe, right? And they're talking about what are the rules going to be for NBA Europe if Adam Silver does set up a league in Europe? Or are they going to do the NBA rules over there? Or are they going to do FIBA rules? That's a great question. This is what Darko said when they asked him this. He said, I think they should do NBA rules because I coach in the NBA right now. That's what he said. He said, yeah, I think they should do NBA rules because I'm in the NBA right now. And in some ways, he's talking about the differences between FIBA and NBA. You know, it's really the biggest difference, he said, is the extra 8 minutes. You know, a FIBA game is 40 minutes, 4 quarters of 10. And the NBA game is 4 quarters of 12, 48 minutes. And those 8 minutes actually add up to a lot of more tiredness and a lot more planning in some ways. So it's an interesting idea to think about what would happen if the NBA is in Europe. What rules would they use? Would they conform to the FIBA rules because that's the game that they play on that continent? Or would they try and shove this ugly ass, crazy NBA product rules down their throats over there? In some ways, that may be the make or break for NBA Europe is whether they accept the rules or not if they come in there with their own rules. In some ways, you may not want to do that, Adam Silver. You may want to actually be like, yeah, we're doing FIBA rules in Europe because this is the way they play over there. I don't know. It's an interesting a whole thing and some things. Yeah, these anti-Darko, like I said, some of them don't seem like real people. And they're just coming in and chiming in just generic comments about fire the coach and shit like that. UC saying RJ is a natural righty, but he shoots lefty. Maybe that's why he's always missing key free throws in every game. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. It's weird. Like, that's why I'm saying his free throws look awkward with his left hand. Maybe he should try and shoot his free throws with his right hand and see what happens there. I mean, he is ambidextrous. He's not just left or right. He can go either way on the court. That's the one thing people need to understand. He's dominant to his left as far as like going places on the court, but that's by design because he understood that going left may be more valuable in this league in certain ways. Man, yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe he should shoot his free throws with his right hand. That's very interesting. Jimmy's saying RJ was definitely a star of this game. That's right. He was carrying us. That's right. He put on for his city. He put on East Side, North Side. Yeah, he put on. Sometimes that song is like his theme song to me. Seriously, this is like you say, I put on for my city. When they play that in the arena, at Scotiabank Arena, at a certain point between the third and the fourth quarter, I always start thinking about RJ because he's literally putting on for his city and he's carrying and repping his country and his city. That's what he's doing. That's right. Wayne saying Cruz Boucher was a positive factor. The last two champions we have gone toe to toe in overtime. This is significant, and we know Darko is not letting those experiences waste. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't as impressed with the games in the in-season tournament against Milwaukee and Detroit. I thought that we were playing bad teams, honestly. But that's a good team we played last night, and we did a good job defensively against them. So the trends of the defensive stuff they were trying to tout about the Milwaukee and Detroit games that I kind of naysayed yesterday, well, they proved that they did it against the Celtics. So I'll say, all right, this isn't a mirage. It's not just that the Bucks and the Pistons shoot so bad and it made our defense look good this week. No, they defense looked real good against Celtics too, and that was a real test for whether the defense is actually very good right now. It's very, very, very interesting. Very interesting to me. Yeah, G saying some of our pop in and out. I think he needs more of an arc that may help his free throws too. That may be right. That may be right. That makes some sense, G. The low arc, you need a higher arc come down through the net easier. Some of the toilet bowl action, some of it's like goes in but rims out. I hate those kind of shots where they trick you. They're like, oh, the shot's going in. Yes, he made it. And then all of a sudden it pops out. I'm like, no, why did that happen? What is that? You're supposed to put the English and the spin on the ball so that it dumps in like a Kawhi Leonard 4-bounce shot. Somebody said it was a 7-bounce shot the other day. I was like, what? 7 bounces? Yeah, who was that said that? That was Baron Davis who said that 7-bounce shot. 7 bounces. Kawhi's shot was 7 bounces? Maybe it was. It was like that. Yeah. But yeah, you got to get that spin right so that it spins in, not out. And RJ, maybe there's a little adjustment with the spin that makes it more likely to toilet bowl through. It's just like when you play a golf video game and you can learn the spins, you can do this crazy like direct shot that'll go like it'll make it go in because you hit it the right way with the spin on your golf club. You guys that play golf video games know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You got to get that in a basketball shot. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe some more arc would help him. That makes sense. Milbester is here. The return of the Knicks freak is in the house. New York fan. Milbester is here. We're cohabitating with the enemy here. Let's see what he's saying here. Lex, I saw that Tatum game-winning shot against the Raptors. Damn, this is why he's one of the best in the game. NBA champion with single mom. What? Single mom? What? Oh, with his mom. He has a single mom. Duke alumni, 2018 NBA draft first-round pick. We're not here to glaze Jason Tatum, New York fan. And you don't have to do this, man. Come on. We know he's your op too. You don't have to come in here and glaze old Jason. In some ways, I was, I like Jaylen Brown. Watching him play last night, he's an ethical player for the most part. For the most part, he's somebody I can respect. But Jason Tatum, no, man. Come on, man. You coming in here glaze Jason Tatum? Go on, Knicks freak. Get on now. You don't need to do this. Come on now. We're Atlantic Division opponents to them. You do not need to glaze the Celtics here. Come on now. That's not necessary, okay? Mike's saying we don't have like established guys that have relationships with refs. When you rebuild, the refs will be colder till our players start creating rapport with the refs. Darko is also new. is new also. Yeah, there were a couple of moments last night where I felt like Darko wasn't getting respect. Definitely earlier in the game, and some of the hurry up stuff that people do so you can't challenge stuff. That was absolutely fantastic that they got that challenge call on the out of bounds play that was off Kada, that they tried to say was off Pirtle. And Kevin Scott went and looked at it and he got the right call. That's what I'm saying. Kevin Scott was doing things right because they could have easily said, no, that was still off of Pirtle. And it was obviously not. But the camera angle and the trick of it, they could have actually just held on and not disappointed the Boston fans, the home crowd, by saying it was still off Pirtle. But they made the right call, and it was the right call that was off the Boston center. So, it's tough. It's true. Darko is building relationships with the refs, and in some ways, he's a nice guy. He's a friendly guy, so he understands different modes of going with them. In some ways, he could probably be very positive and like friendly with them, and like, oh wow, Darko's just a nice dude, and maybe that gets somewhere with them. But he can also be very demanding and steadfast. Also, we've seen him a little livid and going off and kind of arguing his points and stuff. Either way, I want him to care. And that's what matters. If a coach is not doing enough on the sideline and not saying stuff or just passively standing there letting things happen, Eric Curry, I don't have respect for them. But Darko is engaged. Darko's showing passion. Darko's on top of things. Darko's communicating. Darko's holding people accountable to a degree as much as he can, but also at the same time balancing morale. And, he can't get totally frustrated from them ignoring him or doing some shit. He has to work with them. And if there's anything we know about Darko, he's a people person. So give him time. He's going to probably have a lot of refs that are like, man, I like that guy, Rajakovic. And it doesn't hurt that we've got guys like Garrett Temple, Bruce Brown, and Kelly Olynyk jumping them off our bench, yelling things at the ref that have a relationship with them from years of playing too. So this is true. This is true. We need to build this up more and more, and it'll get better over time. Scotty should be getting better relationships with the refs over time. If he doesn't just freak out and go all the time at them, he'll do better. He'd do better. Wayne saying, I can't say that I saw anything Raptors could have done to get that win. Free throws, yeah. But all teams miss free throws. No negative comments on our team. There was no brain farts in the game. Yeah, they played a really solid game. We played better than them. We really were the better team on the court against the champs a lot of the cases in the game. They didn't shoot well, and it's only because of all the extenuating factors that they end up getting the W in their column. There's a lot of different things that could have gone a different way, but Wayne's right. The game happens the way it does, and you can't go back and change anything. It's just you got to go through the beats. It's like listening to a song, and there's different music parts of it. There's like this instrument and this beat, and the pace may go up to here. Then you go different experiences throughout the whole entire song. Well, the game's the same way. The beats are laid down. And if you don't like a note that's played, well, don't play that note next time you play the game. You got to get it right the first time it comes through, because it's like Guitar Hero. You don't get do-backs. You got to hit that note when it comes through on the strand when you're hitting your dumb little plastic colorful guitar while you're playing Guitar Hero. They ain't going to wait for you, Dance Dance Revolution. You got to hit those beats when they come down the pipe. And if you don't hit them enough of them, you're not perfect enough, well, your score reflects it at the end of the game and whether you win or not. And that's part of it right there. And I think that they were hitting their beats pretty good in the game last night using that analogy I just said. Yeah, Wayne's seeing what I'm seeing too. Mike's saying when players go to the refs to protest a call, if there's a previous history between the player and the ref, they might take the info and rule in that direction. Yeah. And that's why I'm really liking the things I'm seeing on the court, like with different refs talking to people like Grady, Mobo, Shed. They're all getting little conferences with refs where they're getting learning lessons. And if our guys aren't knuckleheads, they're personable people, they're competitors, and they play hard, and they show respect for the refs, and they come and talk to them. Grady says, well, what did I do wrong, Kevin Scott? Well, Grady, you shouldn't have dribbled that way and doing this and that way. Okay, thank you, Kevin Scott. I appreciate you. You're amazing, and you taught me something. Oh, I like that Grady. He could come and sit on the porch with me anytime. Yeah, it could be like that. Seriously, you gotta be finessing and talking to them and building rapport, as Mike says. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Mike's saying the refs are a different level of the game that needs relationship development. Exactly. That's why it's tough. You're a champ. You're LeBron. These things are in factors. These are in factors of what's going on with the refs for sure. They definitely have golden boys. In some ways, you want to become a golden boy. That's right. Y'all may need to give me a cutoff because I don't know if I have anybody on watching that. I've got about half an hour to go. Wayne saying, I would love to see Oshai attack the rim using his chest with his athleticism. He tends to want to finger roll or attack without touching. He should look at some VC videos and attacking the rim. I think he's really savvy about how he goes at the rim. And that is his strength. He's not, his shooting's good in the corner, but he's so much more money in transition on the fast break, elevating and laying it in. And even with people contesting him, he's been so good with this year. And that's Oshai, Kansas Oshai. That's the stuff he did in college that got him a college championship. And, I love seeing more and more of that. I don't know about exactly what you're saying about taking it to him. That's a little bit more like RJ. In some ways, I like him being slinky and kind of getting around and kind of tricking people, maybe using a quick first step and getting ahead of them and laying it up real fast before they catch up to him. That kind of stuff I like more than trying to take it right at them or over them, because we got to remember also Oshai is a little bit undersized for his height in the NBA at some of the positions and the players that are guarding against him. And he has to be tricky, just like the small guards for us, Mitchell and Shed, about when they come in, they try and lay it up when people like Cornette and Keita are lurking around and shit. So he has to be tricky like this. I wouldn't take it right to people because in some ways he may have a tendency to force the ball, and forcing stuff has not been good for the Raptors this year. That's been a problem. Carlos saying, morning, Lex, and most gracious freaks. The boys deserved that win last night. Yeah, we deserved it too as fans. The things we've been put through lately. We'll have to see. Maybe Siakam's a little benevolent tomorrow. We'll have to see. I don't know. Either way, I don't want anything easy, but I do want to see another win. I really do. Fiercely saying Aaron Rose is complete garbage. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Carlos saying we have the best 2-12 team ever. I want to believe that. I don't know if we can back that up with factual evidence, but maybe we can. Maybe we can. Maybe somebody can figure that out. Carlos saying Yak is a top 5 center. He's looking so good right now. I don't know what his stacks are against other top centers in the league right now. They probably match up pretty well. Carlos saying, I will not tolerate any trade yak talk. There you go. I'm with you on that. I don't tolerate it either. And that's why this space, you won't hear it here. If you do hear it here, well, you'll hear Lex reply to it. If you do hear it here, that's what you'll hear. That's right. They should have spammed that yak floater in OT. That shit was money. I know they couldn't figure out anything to do about it either. And they had like pretty good bigs out there to try and guard us. I mean, it didn't matter if it was Keita or Cornette. I thought it was very interesting that right away, Joe Mazzulla conceded that Jakob's going to be an issue, and he started a real center. They don't normally do that. Normally, they'll start Al Horford at center and go small with like 4 guards. But they didn't do that last night. They had Al Horford at power forward, and they started Keita at the center, which is very much respect towards Jakob, the reason why they did that, because they knew he's going to eat him for lunch, and he did to an extent. He absolutely operated and got his career high in scoring, and that was awesome. That was so cool. I really, really enjoyed that. Yeah, more of that, and they did spam it a lot, though. Let's not get it twisted, Carlo. They did go to Jakob quite a bit, man. All right, Trevor's my producer today, so let's see. He wants me to do a classic card, as sponsored by Trevor J, the Commissioner of Fun. He doesn't want me to forget my segments. Who is that? Let me look at that in the light. I should see who it is before I put it up. Oh, man, this one's hard. This one is hard. All right, let's see. All right, 10:37 is the time. All right, guys, tell me who this is. I'm going to put this up real close because this one's just ridiculous. This is a classic card, just so y'all know. This is classic. I'm going to have to give y'all some clues, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to have to give you all clues. Let's get a couple of guesses in, and then we'll go from there. Who is this classic card of the day? It's a pretty old Dallas uniform. Who is this? Does anybody know? If you're new to the channel, we play this game every day where I get a classic basketball card out of the box that Trevor sent me in the mail, and we see if you guys know your old basketball players. Let's see. Who is this, guys? Anybody got a guess? Michael Finley. That's a great guess, as he was a Dallas Maverick. And it does kind of look like Michael Finley, but this is a player that is not as known as Michael Finley. So that is wrong. That is not the right answer. It's not Michael Finley. So I guess I'm going to have to think of good clues for this one, because this one's definitely going to need clues. All right, 2 more guesses, and I'll give you guys a better clue. It is probably the same position as Michael Finley, is what I'll say. In some ways, I'll do it like Pirtle game, like Wordle. Pirtle, all right, this person is about the same height and position as Michael Finley. So that should tell you something there for the next guess. If we're going to get any more guesses here, guys, somebody guess. Somebody guess, who is this? I'll bring it up even closer. Who does that? Look at it. Can you tell from the face who's next to him? That looks like Kenyon Martin. I think that's Kenyon Martin, and I'm not totally sure. Does anybody have another guess? You guys want the clue? Because I'll give you the clue if y'all aren't going to guess. I'll say this. His last name is the same last name as a classic Blue Jays player named Willie. How about that? That may be too easy of a clue if we have baseball fans in here that know the Blue Jays. He has the same last name as classic Blue Jays player Willie. Willie. Yeah. Does that give you guys any kind of clue on the last name? If you know that player from the Blue Jays that was named Willie, and you know the last name of this player. And then it's like, yeah, then you got to piece it together. That may be too tough still. Wow, birds are the crickets right now. Nobody's trying to jump on this. We got 30 people in here. Come on now. Avery Johnson. Andrew's going to say Avery Johnson again. He was the classic card the other day, but no, this is not Avery Johnson. Willie Johnson? I don't know if it was Willie Johnson. That doesn't sound right. What is the old Blue Jays player that's named Willie? What was his last name? I wonder if anybody will get this. He played in the Blue Jays in the 80s. That may be part of the problem too, is that we don't have the classic Blue Jays knowledge. We're gonna have to figure this out. All right, maybe I'll give you guys a clue about his first name. How about that? Maybe that'll help you guys. All right, his first name. What is it? Okay, his first name is kind of the same name as the third type of temperature gauge. You know the temperatures, like up here we do Celsius, right? In the States they do Fahrenheit. Well, what's the third type of temperature that is used in temperatures? That's kind of what his first name is. Does that tell you something there? Maybe that'll give it away. I don't know. In some ways, where's Smooth Brown Man? Where is Ahmad Rashad? Where is he? Where is he? Okay, here we go. Okay, Kareem's got the baseball player, but he's half-assing me. And Andrew's got the other part of it. So maybe we'll figure this out, somebody, and put it together and not half-ass. We got one cheek laying over there with Andrew and another cheek over there with Kareem Thomas. And it looks like we got it pretty much, but we don't have it together. And I don't know how to do this without somebody writing it together. And I'll give it to the person, whoever gets that in there. I know y'all are on the timer. You're like, run, timer, run. Somebody could jump in here and seagull it. Where's Amit? Let's see. Okay, look. What is that, Mike? Oh my gosh, the classic cars becoming a comedy show right here. What is that, man? That is really bad. That's totally off. You know, and that's not counting. That's not going to get it. That's not going to get it. I know you did a spell correct, fucked you up, Mike. It really did, because you got it. You're missing a letter in the first name, and the second name. What is that, man? Ups has. Okay, here we go. Kareem got it. He got in there. It's Kelvin Upshaw. That's right. It's Kelvin Upshaw is his name. Willie Upshaw is the former Blue Jay that I was alluding to. And Kelvin is the type of temperature, right? Kelvin. So it's, yeah, Kelvin Upshaw. There you go. Kareem Thomas got it. It is Kelvin Upshaw. That is a tough card, isn't it? You know, sometimes a classic card will be like that. This guy maybe played in the NBA for like a year, and he got a card still. What is that? That's his college career. No, wait, that's him on the Heat, the Celtics, the Mavs, the Warriors, and the Mavericks. This dude was on like 6 teams in 3 years. Kelvin Upshaw is the classic card of the day. This is, you know what? This is going to be a rare 300. I'm going to give it 300 points for this one. So, Kareem, you got it. You didn't allow them to seagull it completely. The timer came through, and he put it together, and he got Kelvin Upshaw. That's fantastic. I love to see that. Kareem Thomas, 300 points on the classic card of the day. Wow, that was fun, man. Yeah, autocorrect got you, Mike. Autocorrect got you for sure. Once again, autocorrect is a villain. Autocorrect is the villain. The villain. Yeah, Carlos saying Penguin is amazing. That season finally got me scratching my head. Yeah, I'll have to watch it. You guys are talking about it a lot. Hey, Kenrick's here. Y'all check out Kenrick Chronic Art James. He's a tattoo artist in downtown Toronto. And Kenrick would be happy to put ink on you, man. If you're looking for any kind of art, he draws and he does art commissioned also. Look for him on social media, Kenrick Chronic Art James, a fantastic local artist here in Toronto that's putting out badass tattoos all the time. So y'all look out for Kenrick, seriously. Jake Paul is a promoter. He and Mike planned a sweet retirement for a legend, and Jake took the hit as a villain turn. Old school promoting, fooling the audience. That's right. Yeah, this is some Don King kind of shit, right? Yeah, Don King, the Wishnick troll in real life. Yeah, this is what it is. In some ways, it's entertainment. They give them what they want. In some ways, people just want the spectacle of Tyson. In some ways, they want the money of Tyson, and they want to give the money to Tyson. Yeah, I think it worked out for everybody. I mean, obviously, this was kind of what the plan was. It's what I think Kenrick's trying to say here. This was all according to plan, and it went exactly right. Good to see you, Kenrick, in the chat with us. Of course, Kenrick is very active on our Facebook chat, but not always in the live chat with us here. I appreciate you being here this morning. Andrew saying, my dad told me to watch Penguin today. He's loving it. There you go. Y'all watch Penguin, I guess. I'm like Matt Devlin. Penguin on Crave. Watch Penguin on Crave. Is that really Colin Farrell? Yes, it is, Jack. All right. Andrew's saying, Lex, how do you feel about Kennedy Chandler, the point guard for the 905 right now? Man, I see that he could be something, but I'm worried. You know, he has a stunted growth out on him. It came out in the last 2 months, and it's very telling. In some ways, it's very interesting what the stunted growth guy is saying about him. As far as if you don't know Stunted Growth, it's a YouTube channel that covers basketball players and why they didn't get to their potential in their careers, whatever held them up, and what the lessons are. It's a fantastic channel. Well, I think with Kennedy Chandler, we've seen a couple of signs of why he could be better than he is, and that is if he goes to passing. He's calling his number too much. In some ways, I've called him Javon Freeman Liberty 2 for this season. But I see the signs that he can be a true point guard and set other people up. Do that more right now. In some ways, you're forcing your number. In the first game, it was helpful to beat Delaware Bluecoats. But in the last 2 games against College Park Skyhawks, you force things too much, Kennedy. And I love it when you make it, but you are often getting blocked and stuffed also and trying to go at 2 or 3 defenders by yourself. And that's where the drive and kick needs to happen. As much as somebody said RJ should have drove and kicked to Oshai in the game last night, well, Kennedy Chandler has a lot of opportunities to drive and kick that he's not taking and forcing it into the defense. I don't like this, Andrew. I do not like this when he does that. And in some ways, if you cut that out and start sharing the ball more and playing more like a point guard, I'd like him more, like I like DJ Carton. So, yeah, that's how I feel about him right there. In some ways, I don't feel like he's a lost cause like Charlie Brown Jr. is. Charlie Brown Jr. is a lost cause. Kennedy Chandler still has some potential to come back to the good side of basketball and do things the right way. But in some ways, the G League environment and his hungriness to be on the bigger level, and maybe he's not smart enough to understand to get there, you need to give to get. But he's just taken, and he thinks that that's the way he's going to get back in the league. No, he won't. So Chandler, figure this out and set your other team up and win. How about that? Win games, do it the winning way, and that'll get the attention of people. That'll get attention right there. Kareem saying Tatum should have been charged with molestation. He groped Yak all over. Man, I don't know how to handle this comment. In some ways, I'm just gonna not touch it. In some ways, Jason did enough touching for all of us on that one. How about that? How about that? Andrew saying he tripped Jakob and traveled on the game-winning shot, but no ref is going to call a travel in the final play. Yep, and yep, yeah. I don't disagree with either one of those things. And yeah, it is what it is. Once again, we know what we're up against. We have to be that much better. That's just how it is. Shere Khan saying, FYI, the Raptors have the same point differential as the Bulls and Blazers, who each have 3 more wins, which indicates that Raptors are just short one closer, a la Scotty, IQ, Kelly, and Bruce. Going to help us too. It sucks. Hashtag sucks. Yeah, we're close. And that's why we got to see Scotty come back. And then we can start gauging things. In some ways, he's the most important out of all of them. I think that we could have the rest of the guys out, but if Scotty's in there, that'll be enough for us to start winning games right there. The other guys will help too. Don't get me wrong. But if Scotty's out there, that'll definitely help turn the tide and make some of these L's into W's. Oh, yeah. We know it. Carlos saying, I feel that even losing close games gets you that culture you need. So we are probably getting our money's worth and getting a high draft pick in the process. Well, that's the funny thing that the stealth tank people are thinking is like, man, we're masters. We're getting all the right things with development, and we're just not getting the W. We're competing. We're getting all the great experience, but we're just not getting the W. And that not getting the W helps us get to the means of the ends of the high draft pick at the end of the year. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the art, I guess, of it in some ways. I'm not saying we're doing this on purpose. I'm just saying that we don't understand how to win close games yet. And, well, they're not happening. And well, does that help us? Probably. It may at the end of the year. It may very well. Andrew's saying crazy that we're going to have 5 rookies in the next 2 years. We have 5 rookies this year, like right now. We technically have 5 rookies that are on our roster with Shamshay as the 5th one. He's a two-way and he gets called up. But Battle, Mobo, Shed, and Walter, who's hurt, are 4. And then Shamshay. So there's 5 rookies. There's 5 rookies on our team this year, right now. Yeah, Sheer Khan saying, Raptor Freak family, smash that like button for the algo. Just noticed that we hit 1,000 for the channel. Congrats, Lex. Yeah, this happened just after the season started. I finally got my bona fide 1,000. And you know what? YouTube won't stop emailing me about monetizing my channel. You dumbasses. You let me monetize my channel after I got 500 subs. And I'm already monetized. I don't need you to keep sending me an email every day. Unlock the potential of your YouTube channel now that you've hit 1,000 subscriptions. YouTube, come and see. I already did it. And you're spamming me all these emails every single day. I get them. Thank you, Sheer Khan. I appreciate that. It was a huge goal that I had. And well, let's see the continued growth of the Raptor Freak channel at the level and the pace that I want it to. I don't care if it's like huge. I'm not trying to get 10,000 subscribers. I'm perfectly fine with the quality and the ones that really enjoy the Raptors and are passionate, positive fans like we are. This is a clubhouse, and it's it's for the right ones, the real ones, the ones that see this channel and they're like, this, I can get behind this because this is the information I need to know as a very passionate Raptors fan. And that's the service that I'm trying to provide on this channel. I'm not trying to make a whole ton of money and monetary kind of things with this channel. This is about my passion, sharing it with the other passionate Raptors fans just like me. And that's what it's all about. Shirkan, you are one of them. That's right. You got that over your heart just like me. That's right. That's right. Mike saying the Wizards love to early season checkout. That's right. That's one thing we got to say that's different is that the Wizards, they lose like this. They're 2-12. They're done. They're done for the year. These guys will stop competing. They'll stop trying to do jack shit. And they're because they understand that this is what it's in. No, our team's not doing that. And that's a testament to our coaches and our players for not getting their heads down and staying positive in a very, losing's not fun. It's not fun. And other lesser teams would go home, take their ball, and just be like, I'm quitting for the year. And that's probably like the Wizards. They're going to probably get at that point at some point this year. I'm sure they will. Cool Cat saying, man, what a hack job by the ref. Shane on them. Eyeballs can be affected in the long run. Oh, okay. I think I understand what you're saying. You think that the guy, Jakob got hit in the face. Mobo got an elbow in the eye in the face at one point. They called the foul on Jason on him. Jaylen Brown elbowed him in the face. He had his action. He came up and he hit Jonathan Mobo right in the face. And it's like, welcome to the NBA. That's a foul on you, Jonathan. You're a rookie. That's the champs. That's Jaylen Brown, Finals MVP. Welcome to the NBA. Yeah, you got smacked in the face, and you're the one holding your face at the free throw line while they're shooting the free throws in the lane. Yeah, that's just part of it. You see Mobo complaining? No, he understands this is the assignment. This is how it is going to be. And yeah, Brown, he elbowed him right in the fucking face. And in some ways, it was his natural motion. It's not a flagrant, but in some ways, if it was flipped and it was the other way around, and it was the Celtic player getting elbowed in the face, maybe the refs actually called that an offensive foul instead of a defensive foul on a rookie from the second round of this year's draft. I mean, there is stuff like this. There is stuff like this. That's right. There is stuff like this. Carlos saying Will Lou talks like he can coach better than Darko. Yeah, I don't understand that. I have respect for our coaches. I understand that there's a whole bunch of stuff that's very specific and very minutia that I have no idea about. I know I have my realm of coaching experience, coached myself in a lot of different situations, but I have not coached on the levels anywhere near like this. And I'm pretty sure Will Lou hasn't either. So, like, who the fuck are you, Will Lou, to tell Coach Darko how to do things? I will say some things about very blatant things that make sense, but in some ways, I'm not second guessing my coach to the extent where I want to get him fired. Seriously. Sure, there may be some questioning about why did you call that player's number at this moment, or why did we do this way? Or, we can do that. We can analyze that, but that's within a reason and not like, let's just throw the baby out with the bathwater because I don't like a couple of rotations, or I don't like the way that he had this happen, or I don't like the way that, on the download, the players hijacked the play. They didn't even listen to Darko and they didn't execute it. And it's not even Darko's fault because that's half the time what happens to NBA coaches on the court. Broken plays happen all the time. He may have had an intention of what he wanted them to do, but maybe it wasn't possible because the way defense reacted. And all of a sudden, a player has to go off script and play hero ball. And all of a sudden, you're blaming the coach for the player's decision. But the coach said, this is the play I called for them. They didn't do it because it couldn't happen because of the parameters. See, there's so much shit. They're just presupposing and supposing, oh, I know that what we should have done. We should have done this. Okay, Will, tell us how we should have done it. Yeah, if Darko had just did this with the pass to this person instead, then we would have won the game. I'm like, dude, I say this all the time. We don't live on the moon. We don't understand what it's like the GM in the NBA. We don't understand Bobby and Masai's job. We don't understand all the different things. We don't breathe on the oxygen tanks and jump a mile high in the air because the gravity. We don't know what it's like on the moon. And in some ways, we don't know what it's like to live underwater in Atlantis, just like Darko. In some ways, we don't know what it's like to live down there or live up on the moon like the GMs. In some ways, y'all are real easy to criticize and say, oh, I've done this or this is what they should have done. You don't know if that's realistic. You don't know if that's even possible. You don't even know what the parameters and all the characteristics of what adds up to the decision making, the outcomes of NBA games that you think you fucking know and you have so much control that you do a better job than Rajakovic. That's what I would say to William Liu. I'll respect Will Liu. You are a passionate person who covers the Raptors and one of the better ones. But still, I can't stand if you're going to criticize Darko after the game and say this is what he should have done. It's because you feed to the fuckers that want him fired when you do that shit. And it's just not necessary. It's just not necessary. It's what I'm saying right now. Andrew's saying the amount of positive development under Darko has been insane. Not only for the Raptors, he helped develop Mikal Bridges and Desmond Bane's progress. Yeah, totally. Just got back. Okay, Milbester, where'd you go? Yeah, Darko has a track record. There's a reason why he's getting this shot. There's only 30 jobs in the NBA as a coach, and he's getting his chance. That you don't just get up on the queue to get in there because you're just some jabroni that's next in line. No, you have to earn to get to there. You can ask Adrian Griffin the climb to get to a head coaching job in the NBA and how difficult it was for him, and then how thankless and crazy it was when he did finally get that job with Milwaukee. So, yeah, no, you motherfuckers have never built your life up to do something like that ever. You don't have any way of talking about this. Seriously, you have no idea. Mike's saying it's 4 bounces. I know the physics of the shot. I know it's been said 4 bounce. That's what people said. But Baron Davis said 7 bounces on the Draymond Green podcast with Fred VanVleet the other day. And when he said that, I thought about it. And I was like, there is a little bit of a brrr, 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 brrr. So there may have been a quick 3 bounce in there that looked like 1 bounce. If you watch it again, Mike, you might see what I'm talking about. Kareem's saying you have to respect the climb in the NBA, and the Raptors are at the bottom of the mountain with all the tools. It's just a matter of time when we start kicking teams down on the way up. That's what I'm saying. In some ways, we see where we're at, and it's scary because we are at the bottom, and we don't like it. It's not natural, or we're not used to it, at least not since the 90s. And in some ways, it's scary. We want to get back up, and we want to be like that little Price is Right yodeler, going all the way up. But don't go over the edge because you overbid. Yeah, Bob Barker. That's right. Milbester's saying, oh, wow, Lex, I checked the NBA schedule. I forgot the Knicks have another game with the Nets in Madison Square Garden. We had back-to-back games with Brooklyn for 2 MSG games. And Friday was NBA Cup game against the Nets. Today, regular game. Okay, Knicks Freak. Thanks for the update, Knicks Freak. Yeah, go Nets. Go Jordy. Go Dennis. Andrew, thank you for the cutoff. And thank you guys for the guesses for the classic card. I know it was a little bit difficult there. Yeah, Calvin Upshaw was the card today. Let's see. Who the fuck is that dude is what Andrew's saying. Calvin Upshaw. Yeah, no clue. He was just a bit player that played in the NBA in like the 90s. And that's why nobody remembers him. Smooth saying Willie Upshaw was Blue Jays player from the 80s. That's right. Willie Upshaw was the clue, and Kelvin Upshaw was the player for the NBA. Willie Upshaw was a good man. He was traded to the Indians to make room for Fred McGriff. I believe that's true. I remember that. Yeah, Gene Upshaw's brother. Good stuff, Smooth. Good stuff. I like that. The background. Trevor J saying Penguin is my favorite show. One more show, you guys should check it out. Sweetwater. He's saying you should watch Sweetwater also. Yeah. Trevor's telling me I need to watch all these shows, and I tell him I don't have any of these services. He's like, oh, I'll send you a stick. a magic stick or whatever. What is it? Thunder stick or what do they call that? I don't know what they. It's like a stick that you can watch all the TV shows and stuff like that. Trevor, you gonna send me a stick so I can watch the stuff? I don't know. I don't know. Mike's saying YouTube was to enable ads and make ad rep sense. Yeah, I know. They want me to do that, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I've decided I don't want to because I'm not selling out like that. In some ways, they want to make money off of me more than I want to make money off of y'all. How about that? That's the truth right there. I want to make no money off of you guys. In some ways, if you guys want to pay for memberships or super chats to do that stuff, that's great. I appreciate it. It does help me out in certain ways, but it's not necessary. And in some ways, I resent that YouTube wants to use me as a cash cow and use our audience and our energy that we're doing on this channel every day to drive revenue for themselves. So yeah, F you, YouTube. In some ways, yeah, I hope they didn't hear me. Maybe they did. Who cares? Let's see. And Mike's saying, so he did play with a young Dirk, a fire stick. Yeah, that's the word, fire stick. That's right. I was trying to remember what it is. All right, let's do the wrap up. First, we'll do the Instagram stories. 3:00, a game day, Capital City Go-Go, Raptors 905. Brendan Carlson's been gone to the Thunder. We'll get to see more Shamshay. So please join me in a few hours on the YouTube channel of the G League and watch the Raptors 905 play the Capital City Go-Go in the capital city of the United States. And yeah, we'll see some old familiar Raptor friends from the past on the other side. Slim Duck has got Jones on blast. He's celebrating Jones's victory last night. Very interesting. Davion Mitchell showing the guys coming into the game last night. Garrett Temple always dressed up. Scotty with that crazy Gotham look last night. And also Davion celebrating the 49 points by De'Aaron Fox the night after he scored 60. So, wow, that guy's been on a tear. He's got 109 points in like 2 days. That's really crazy. Matt Devlin showing the broadcast crew from last night with Kayla Gray and Jack Armstrong. Also, always great to see you, Coach. He's celebrating Amir Johnson, of course, assistant coach for the LA Clippers right now. He would have been kind of cool to have as an assistant coach here. We talked about that this summer. Would Amir come in assistant coach for the Raptors? That'd be awesome. He loves here in Toronto. Maybe at some point we could maybe acquire Amir Johnson to come coach us. That'd be cool. Yeah, they're showing the buzzer shot by RJ where he took it at the last second to bail us out and nailed it. It wasn't right at the line and was contested. It was a really nice shot. And that's the shot that made me think, you know what? RJ can be that clutch player and hit a huge shot like Jason hit. In some ways, that's one of the things we found out last night. And we knew this already, but he proved it again. A buzzer beater right at the end of the 24-second shot clock with a defender on him, and he's like feet away from the three-point line. RJ's got it like that. And that's why I had no problem with him taking big shots last week to try and win games for us, even if they didn't go in. One of them rimmed out, and they would have gone in. We were talking about that. Jacoby Walter working out before the game. Come back and play, Jacoby, and stop getting hurt is what I'm saying about that. Yeah, let's see what else there is. Scotty Barnes showing the coming in the game. Of course, he wanted to show off that crazy tails coat that he was wearing. It's like a coat and a suit coat. It's kind of crazy, 2 for 1. And Jakob's shirt says attitude is free. I like that. That's a good sentiment. Garrett Temple has some words of wisdom today, guys. Be boring. Wake up early. Go for a walk. Get sunlight. Lift weights. Eat healthy. Limit alcohol. Cook at home. Keep your circle small. Love your family. Boring is the new cool. And if you want to be a longtime NBA veteran like Garrett Temple, these are the ways to live your life so that you get there. That's what I'm saying. Also, he's saying here, the best things in life can't be bought. A fit, healthy body, a happy home life, a grateful mindset, a healthy relationship, they must be earned. The life you want isn't for sale. It's created through hard work. I like this sentiment. That's all true. Very, very true. Jamal McGlure is out in Scarborough with guys playing drums, making a racket out there. And he's making a racket too. He's got one of the drums himself. Look at him getting down, playing them drums. I'm sure you're a neighborhood nuisance, but it sounds so good. That's right. Is that in Kensington? Where are they? There's Jamal Shed trading jerseys with Marcus Sasser. And Sasser is a family member with him. So, yeah, they made a little jersey swap after the game against Detroit on Friday. Norman Powell showing off. He's a friend with the Big Bro. Big Bro got the city on his back for LA right now. So, yeah, keep being great, Norman Powell. That's right. Great to see you, bro. Teresa Resch has got a package in the mail. What is in there? What's in there? What is that inside that box? A WNBA Toronto president. What is that? Oh, it looks like it's some clothing or something. What is that? Very, very interesting. They won't show me. Well, either way, we'll find out soon enough about the WNBA and their team. There's OG Anunoby showing off a big dunk for the Knicks. There you go, Milbester. I'm covering one of y'all's players. And they're showing off what a finish. OG's celebrating this finish. I guess Jalen Brunson doing a dribble round or something. Oh, he takes the three and he bombs it and makes it in the in-season tournament game against the Nets on Friday night. Interesting stuff. And there's a big, huge dunk by Hook Porty. I don't even know how to say his name. Otis Shamshay celebrating Brendan Carlson getting called up to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah, he could be celebrating for a couple reasons. DJ Carton also saying this, you earned this, BC. I'm so proud of you. He has a special connection to Brandon Carlson, DJ Carton. So he's very, very happy and proud of him getting up there. I wonder if DJ's going to be available today. I'd like to see him play today. Lobster rolls is what DJ's eating yesterday in Washington, D.C. They look pretty good, actually. And that's it. That's the Instagram stories for this week. 9:05, 3 o'clock. Capital City, go. So let's go to the YouTube and watch it. That's right. Wayne saying, watch the Brooklyn Nets podcast. His point was Nets are a top 5 team based on how many games they've been competitive and losing games by 2 to 5 points. By that logic, we are pretty good considering. Yeah. I think Jordy's team is very similar to ours in some ways. They're rebuilding. They have a lot of talent. They're overperforming, even if they're not totally winning all the time. Jordy's a young coach like Darko, starting his career in certain ways. And yeah, they could be very similar to us in some parameters for sure. I could see this, Wayne. All right, let's wrap it up, guys. The Raptors lost by 3 to a game-winning shot by Jason Tatum in overtime in Boston last night. They hung with the champs and went toe-to-toe with them. In some ways, it's just like Tyson and Paul. We went the whole rounds, and the decision was unanimous for the NBA because they want script right for the Boston Celtics. But we're Tyson. We can hold our heads up high. Maybe we didn't get $20 million, but in some ways, there's some of the same stuff. Be proud that you hung in there. My 3 stars of the game were Jakob Poeltl getting his career high in points, RJ Barrett getting his first triple-double ever, and Chris Boucher off the bench doing fantastic stuff. The referees for today's G League 905 Capital City Go-Go game are Pat O'Connell, number 73, Chelsea Painter, number 66, and AJ Ganelli, number 62. Yeah, and get ready to see some of the old Raptors we're going to be playing against today. Let's see. Leo Routens is saying this morning for his life tip, gratitude paints little smiley faces on everything it touches. There you go. Let's just have gratitude. Be grateful that we have a fantastic team here in Toronto, even if we're not winning right now. We're going to get back to it. We know we will. Happy birthday to this person, and they brought him up last night on the broadcast. It's hilarious. This guy was TV Tom. Tom Sterner is his birthday today, guys. Tom is, let me figure it out. He'd have been 50 then. So he's 60 then. So he's 68 today. Happy 68th birthday to former assistant coach of the Raptors, Tom Sterner. Of course, Tom Sterner was known for, this is why they were talking about him, because Jama did the halftime interview, and he looks right into the camera when he talks to. It's so funny. Jama's like, he's talking straight to the audience through the camera lens. He doesn't talk to Kayla. And Jack and Matt were making light of that. Man, he's already TV ready, and like he knows what he's doing, like for be announcing or what in TV broadcast. And then they brought up Tom Sterner because he was an old coach for us that did the same thing around the Bosch era. And if you guys remember Tom Sterner, he was a very animated, passionate interview. Like he's one of the Hall of Fame ones. So happy birthday, happy 68th birthday to former assistant coach of the Raptors, Tom Sterner. It's actually his birthday today, guys. Serious. All right, if you have a fantasy team, it's the last day of the week. Get your Yahoo Fantasy Raptor Freak fantasy team set up and see if you can get some wins for you on that. All right, that's it. We're out. Thanks for watching the Raptor Freak channel today, previewing the Capital City Go-Go game and also reacting to the Celtics game last night. We'll be back tomorrow with a reaction to the game this afternoon and also a preview of the Indiana Pacers visiting the Toronto Raptors at Scotiabank Arena tomorrow night. Our guy, Pascal Siakam, coming back to visit. And I'm pretty sure Cool Cat's going to the game tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll have all the details that you need to know. Lineup news, a scout on the Pacers, and also the refs set up for you tomorrow morning so you know you're in the know in the best way. Man, I told y'all, put some money on the Raptors against the Celtics last night. And, boy, I was thinking – a little conspiracy theory is like, man, maybe they are going to rig this game for the Raptors to win because some people put money on the Raptors to win. Just think about the payout if they had done that. In this scenario of last night, not many people are going to think the Raptors could cover the spread, which was 16.5, right? and let alone win the game. So if anybody had put money on the Raptors to win the game last night and they actually came through, they would have made a ton of money, because the odds of that happening and the people that were thinking that was even possible were probably not thinking there was possible. So I was thinking that during the game. Seriously, I was thinking that. Fiercely saying we're extremely good. I'm extremely positive with our team. There you go. That's what Leo's talking about. Your gratitude. That's right. Even in the losses, win, 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 win. All we do is win, win, win. Well, not right now, but down the road, we'll figure it out. We'll get back to it. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching the Raptor Freak channel. Please get out there and touch grass. Enjoy your Sunday. Let's watch the Capital City Go-Go. Hopefully, I'll see some of y'all in the chat there. Let's go Raptors 905. Let's go Raptors. Let's go WNBA Toronto. Let's go Team Canada basketball, Michael Bartlett and Rowan Barrett Sr. Let's go Raptors.